Hey, good morning, everybody, and it is a good morning, a cold morning, but welcome to a very warm morning radio show we affectionately refer to as Breakfast with Roger and Friends, and the friends include Dr. Gene Sidler. Good morning, Gino.
Yeah,
good to see you this morning.
Everyone.
And, of course, our usual Thursday morning legal advisor, retired attorney Mike Dentino. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Roger.
And also,
the beard's coming along pretty good there.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm in need of a trim. It took me, 70 years. 70 years and 1 year on my back with back issues before I got around to growing one. But
does that itch at all as it's growing? Does you have a tendency to want to scratch?
Well, I mean, once it gets past the hey, I haven't shaved in a couple of weeks point, then it's fine. But yeah, as it's starting up, it gets a little itchy. But when the weather's like this, I really do appreciate the fact that my chin isn't freezing already when I walk out the door.
Yeah, you look like a walking brill pad. I mean, it looks nice. Yeah, we could.
It looks distinguished.
All right.
You know,
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does a little. He looks a little smarter.
Well,
I don't know. I wasn't going to go that far.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't notice that when I look in the mirror. I look at myself and I go, who's that old codger?
Are you talking about Terry Grawey, or are you? Oh, we just walked in.
He slides in.
I take it, Roger, you've never grown a beard?
No, I never have.
Never have.
No.
I had one in college and in medical
You did,
school
really?
for
Did you let your hair grow long like you were somewhat in the
I
hippie
had
stage?
hippie hair for a little while.
I know you had long sideburns for a long time.
Yeah,
You're the only guy I know had
trimmed it when
sideburns
I
down to your nipples.
had the TV gig. No, everybody had those sideburns in the 60s.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
that's
Early
true.
70s, yeah.
That's true.
Well, good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Captain.
Good to see you.
It's one of those days.
Yeah, it was one of those days. You bet.
Everything was wrong.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because when Mike and I got on the elevator together this morning, he was talking about things that weren't working. I mentioned how happy I am that I have a remote starter because I was able to start it up, raise the garage door. That's very important to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't raise the garage. Yeah, exactly right. Any rate,
A little sleepy this morning.
yeah, I overslept in the garage, but the firefighters woke me up just in the nick of time. But you were saying your vehicle remote starter and a couple other things weren't working.
Yeah, well, I was, got up and I hit the button twice from inside the house, and I heard the truck, roar to life, and then about 15 seconds later it said, no, not going to happen, not going to happen. Now, if you're not out here suffering with me, I'm not starting.
Yeah.
And it started
Oh, it's
fine.
outside. It's not in the garage. It's outside.
Well, technically, I don't have a garage.
Oh, a carport. That's right.
Well, yeah,
portico.
yeah.
Porta potty?
Portico.
Oh, okay.
Now that'd be cold. Talk about cold.
Yeah, that would be cold.
Oh, I went through that as a little kid in Sullivan, Illinois, and that was one of the most challenging experience of my intestinal system.
Learn how to hold it.
Indeed.
I wanted to hold it all day rather than go outside because there are no heaters in those two-hole outside johns, so to speak.
We had a grandmother who lived in a very rural area, and still had an outhouse when I was a little
Yeah.
kid. And it was not close to the house. We had to walk a ways to get to the edge of the forest where it was located.
See, there's
So I learned to hold things.
yeah.
Well, we only visited, she lived over in Ohio, so we only visited her a couple of times before she passed away, that I can recall. So it wasn't too frequent that we had to endure that. But yeah, that
There's
was
a
quite
very
an experience.
there's a very complicated mathematical equation that involves calendar, temperature, and distance when you're locating your outhouse.
Yeah, and we were visiting only in the warm months, so I would
Yeah.
hate
Well,
to
let me
think
tell you
about
what it was in the winter. Just sitting down was a challenge. I still maintain
gotta hustle.
that experience was what started hemorrhoids. I mean, you can only hold it just so long.
See, hence the development of the chamber pot.
Yes, that, you're right. In the middle of the night, I heard my grandpa or uncle or whatever he was. I heard that familiar sound of the chamber pot. Yeah. At first, I thought the pipe had broken, and I recalled they didn't have many pipes running to the house.
Well, yeah, they're in those sort of plumbing-free homes. You do like, wait a minute. I don't think anything's frozen.
Except when you went outside.
Yeah.
And that was, and you know, you mentioned about the John was some distance from the house.
Yeah.
There was a reason for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
In the middle of July, you didn't want to have it too close.
Yeah, that's right.
Which way? What's the prevailing winds during July?
Well, did they just fill those? This is a weird question, but we're talking about a bunch of crap. Did you?
So to speak.
Did they dig a different hole? I mean,
Yeah.
because you didn't pump them out.
No,
Oh,
no,
no,
no.
you just fill them over
So
and
you
dig
just
a new hole.
fill them
yeah.
out and then just dig another and then just move it.
And you move-
Yeah.
move
Well,
it.
I mean, you move the house, you dig the hole, you use the dirt from the new hole to fill the old hole,
Oh, okay, right.
Well,
and then
see.
move the house or the building with no bottom back over the hole, and then you end up
Oh, it's
moving
just
your.
it's just four walls and a little roof, huh? You just
Yeah,
move
I
it.
mean,
Oh.
yeah, you don't want to have a concrete floor in an outhouse.
Tile, not a tile.
No,
floor,
yeah,
tile,
I have
tile
never,
that bathroom.
I've never seen many outhouses tiled.
You know, I have to tell you, gentlemen, I've been doing radio since I was 19 years of age. I have never opened a program in my life with this subject before. And
Gotta cover everything, right?
Yeah, well, we did cover it.
You mean
Every time I sat down, it was.
A scatological opening is not the beginning of most radio shows.
No, that's exactly right. I wanted to talk about Terry's chocolate that Dr. Sidler brought in.
have different flavors.
Oh, this is a different one.
Yeah, this is.
Bring
This
up
is
for
dark
Terry. Yeah,
chocolate.
when we were down at the tournament down in Florida, I picked up a dark chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Terry's orange, and so that's what's left of it. I only had
There's a
one.
little bit right there. Try it.
But I wanted to bring you guys some to try, and then I've got another one here if you wish to partake. Yeah, that one didn't completely break apart. I banged that one on the
There you
You
go.
have to be careful, don't
on
you?
the stands that we were sitting in. the
Did they
arena.
give it? Did they give some away?
They had some for giveaway there, yes. You had to sort of seek them out. They weren't available at the concession stand, or I would have probably bought a few more, but they were available in the VIP area of the...
You're a VIP, I'm assuming.
I was not.
What?
No, you had to, well, the advantage of the VIP was free alcohol, and we're not a drinker.
You're
so
not a drinker,
it was
so that's
like
no value,
$115 for each session, and so we did not
Yeah, you
partake in
can't
that.
drink
But
$150
I walked up and asked the little hostess that was at the front of the little VIP area, and she went back and got me a couple.
Oh, nice.
Oh, she did.
Very kind of her.
Bless your little heart.
Yeah.
Well, we never did see it, but we're going to take your word.
Yeah, we never did. We did everything we could.
We know you went down for the chocolate, so
Yeah, I think when I was watching, he was down
he's probably always
visiting
getting
with the
chocolate.
little girl.
In
getting
the
the
stadium,
chocolate.
Look
holding
here,
my
he's
Terry's
got it.
chocolate.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Well, see,
All right.
what's that shirt? There's too much.
That's a Bradley shirt.
What's there's all
Bradley
kinds of-
University.
Oh, I
Under
see.
Armour. That's their
Yeah, okay.
sponsor.
Just like this.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, they've done a good job. that company.
You remember the old saying, Mom, keep it under your arm?
Is that the brand name for
Yes,
deodorant?
right,
Yes.
right.
No,
Yeah, came in a little white jar, and it was Mum. It was
no, I don't.
yeah, and their slogan was, it's Mum, keep it under your arm.
No, I don't remember that one. Who was that for? What was the name?
Mum. That was the
Oh,
name
Mum
of
was the name of the-
deodorant, yeah.
You know, mum's the word.
Mum's the word. You're exactly right, and Mum was the word. All right, now that we've talked about a lot of poop, let's get into the news and see if we can be a little more reasonable. Well, everybody, it's Thursday, December 4th, and you only have a few more days remaining to enroll for Medicare. And a little reminder, this is a time of the year that gives people a chance to review their Medicare plan and to make changes to make sure you're getting the best coverage. And the person you want to talk to is not one of those 800 numbers. This guy's been around for over 40 years helping people with their insurance needs. And, of course, we're talking about Sam Lilly. Sam Lilly and Associates. You can reach Sam today at 309-245-4374. Sam Lilly and Associates. Now the weather, Terry.
Well, the best part of the weather, Roger, is the first thing, sunny. I'm not going to read the rest.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Very cold, very, very, very cold. High 15 today. Wind chill values could reach about 8 below. Tonight's low 1 below. Tomorrow sunny and breezy, warmer with a high near 30. That'll seem warm. Tomorrow night cloudy and 21 the overnight for the low. Saturday cloudy, high 31, so not bad. Just a couple of days in single digits and back up to 30. Snow possible Saturday night, low 18. Sunday you should be able to make it to church, partly sunny, high 25. Right now, it's just 10 degrees.
Yeah, you can seem to be kind of cavalier about the cold weather. I think that's
Only
the
a few
right
days.
approach. Yeah, you know,
Only a few days.
We'll
I
get
can
over
make it for a
them.
few
You're
days.
right. Now our news brought to you by Steve Sink, managing partner of PHX Affiliates. Steve has been a business broker for more than 20 years. He works with clients confidentially, and he certainly does it professionally for the sale or purchase of a business. More information available. Steve's really one of those neat guys to chat with. And his phone number today, 309-696-8508. Let's get into the news. Mike Dentino and Terry Grawey.
Oh, thanks, Roger. One of the country's most controversial liberal judges, James Boasberg, made a small but unusual decision yesterday. He ordered refunds for 2 Republicans who were found guilty of participating in the January 6th demonstrations at Capitol Hill in 2021. President Donald Trump issued pardons for Cynthia Ballinger and Christopher Price. The married couple had been tried and convicted on misdemeanor charges and ordered to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and restitution.
After their pardons, they requested a refund of those costs, but Judge Boasberg denied the request. The judge said he changed his decision because of an appeals court ruling. Trump pardoned more than 1,500 Republicans the Democrat prosecutors sent to jail.
More good economic news from President Trump. Yesterday, the president announced a reset of the federal fuel standards that were increased under the Joe Biden administration. The White House claims the decisions will save $109 billion in total for American families. Trump said the regulations in the car industry caused car prices to increase by more than 25%.
The announcement was welcomed by some of the country's leading auto leaders, such as Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley. He said, "This is a win for customers and common sense." Apparently, Wall Street agreed. The Dow jumped by more than 400 points, ending at 47,882. The Nasdaq reached 23,454, and the S&P totaled 6,849. Caterpillar had a $9 increase, ending at $5.91 per share. Wow.
Yeah. Well, the Vaccine Advisory Committee of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is meeting today and tomorrow and some medical sources are predicting a change in the schedule of childhood immunizations. There are some indications that the universal hepatitis B vaccine dose, the one given shortly after birth, will be at issue. ABC News is claiming the vaccine has virtually eliminated the virus among children.
A University of Delaware student has been arrested with a car full of guns, body armor, and plans to carry out a mass shooting on the school's campus. Police identified the man as 25-year-old Pakistani immigrant Luqman Kwan. Notes found included targeting the school's police department on his hit list, and one of his weapons was a handgun that could be quietly adjusted to become a rifle. Quickly adjusted, or quietly. You'd want to be
Maybe
quiet.
both.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I would say probably both.
You want to be quiet. There you go.
In the world of music, Steve Cropper, songwriter and guitarist, has died at the age of 84. Known as the anchor for Booker T and the MGs, Cropper co-wrote Green Onions and Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. Cause of death was not revealed.
Now, most of those songs are pretty familiar
Oh,
to
yeah,
all of us
Dock of
here
the
in the
Bay,
studio.
oh, yeah.
I love Green Onions.
I just don't like it in soup.
No,
I ate at Bob Evans yesterday, as a matter of fact. Got baked potato cheddar soup, and they put a bunch of green onions on top of it. I wish they would
Oh,
say.
they
I
sprinkle
wish
on
they would
top.
put that on the side, or say.
You could take it off
comes
easy.
with. Well, I did. It didn't come easy, but
Oh, no, okay.
you know, you don't get them all.
Well, it was just the green part.
Yeah.
So not really the part that's pungent with the onion flavor. It was more of a garnish,
Yeah.
we call that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just presentation.
I didn't like the garnish.
You eat with your eyes, they say.
You know, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Really,
you know, the big
it
trouble
gets
is,
stuck in mine. I can't do that.
It makes my contacts blur.
I've noticed that certain parts of my anatomy get large, but my eyes never get large.
No, they don't. East Peoria officials are warning residents of a breach of the city's alert system. Cyber criminals may have been able to access personal information from the city's program for emergencies. The notification comes from Crisis 24, the risk management group handling the communication system.
And don't forget the 4th annual Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront Museum. It begins tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. It continues Saturday from 12 to 8 p.m. The event features local food trucks and vendors, hot chocolate, horse-drawn carriage rides, laser holiday magic, carolers, live animals, ballerinas, holiday movies, and the giant screen theater to boot. Oh, it's quite a lineup.
What kind of live animals? What?
I don't know. That's why you're supposed to, you know, we tease people with information, say, you know what, let's find out what
I'd
kind
like
of
to know
animals.
what kind of.
It might just be people.
Reindeer?
Rain might be.
Maybe. How about a rabbit with a pair of reindeer antlers on the top?
Yeah. You remember when you go to
Cool.
Sheridan Village, they had a reindeer, did they
Yeah,
not?
They did.
During the Christmas, they had a little of everything.
And to top it all up, there will be an admission charge.
Yes.
So there we
it's
go.
important
That's,
to know that.
that's it for the news.
That's it for the news from us, and let's find out what's going on at WCBU.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm June Delahunty. East Peoria is keeping its property tax levy steady, representing a slight drop in the tax rate for the next fiscal year. The City Council unanimously approved holding the estimated amount collected at $5.9 million. Mayor John Call says residents still will see their total property taxes increase, as East Peoria is just one of 10 taxing bodies in the community, and the city's portion is just a fraction of what people pay.
It literally represents 11.5%. I'll say it again, 11.5% of your overall property tax bill. That's it.
Commissioner Mark Hill says the majority of the city's revenue comes from sources other than property taxes. Some Bradley University students pursuing careers in the legal field have a new path to law school through a partnership with DePaul University. The two institutions have announced a direct admission agreement that gives qualifying Bradley seniors and recent graduates guaranteed acceptance to DePaul's College of Law in Chicago, along with scholarship support. Up to 5 qualifying students will receive a minimum annual scholarship of more than $13,000. All undergraduate majors can apply. Democratic Congressman Eric Sorensen says a recent vote denouncing socialism was a Republican ploy to generate attack ads for Democrats. Sorensen was one of nearly 90 House Democrats who voted for the measure.
I am a fighter for Medicare and for Medicaid. I'm a supporter of our police and our fire and making sure that our roads are taken care of, that our schools are funded, and that Social Security remains essential for people.
Sorensen said his record speaks for itself. Some Ameren customers in central and southern Illinois will receive a credit on upcoming power bills. The credit comes from a $38 million settlement between the state and Dynegy Corporation. The decade of investigation and litigation that led to the settlement stems from an electricity capacity auction conducted by the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, or MESO. That resulted in an electricity capacity price 40 times higher than all other zones and nearly 9 times higher than the prior year price. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul says Dynegy manipulated the market to overcharge electric customers. I'm June Delahunty.
Thank you, June. This is July, and no, it's December. And I want to congratulate WCBU. 3 days in a row. Interviews, it's actually one interview, and yeah, exactly right. Now headquarters for Eric Sorensen for re-election. Let's get into sports and see who you're favoring maybe 2 days in a row. Dr. Gene Sidler with the latest. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Roger. If you're a sports fan, you probably noticed yesterday was a little bit of a slow day. You couldn't find too much sports on the tube, but things will pick up now. College football regular season is just about over. Tonight we have the NFL. NFL Thursday Night Football is a pretty good matchup tonight between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys 6-5-1 and the Lions 7-5. The Detroit Lions rank 8th in record-wise in the NFC, and only the top 7 teams make the playoffs. The Bears, by the way, are the number 1 team in terms of record. And Dallas is number 9 in record. So these two teams are just outside the playoffs right now. About 5 games to go in the season. So they still have time to get into that playoff picture. But that means this is a very important game for both teams tonight. Should be a good game. Detroit is a 3-point favorite in tonight's game. And by the way, that is on the Prime Video
So
network.
we can't see it.
Well, unless you have Prime Video.
Well, I'm not going to pay to see the Lions play the Cowboys. Cowboys, by the way, started out terrible.
Yes.
And they've turned things around. They are one of the hottest teams right now.
Yeah, they are playing well, and a lot of people calling for them to bench Dak Prescott, their quarterback, and now everybody loves him again because he's playing much better. So that's the way it goes in football. And speaking of football, the Chicago Bears, they are the top team in the NFC with a 9-3 record, and they'll play Green Bay on Sunday at 3:25 p.m. So they moved it to the afternoon slot so that they get a bigger audience. It'll be national TV audience.
In Green Bay, are they?
And this one is in Green Bay.
It will be cold.
It'll be cold. It's supposed to warm a little bit by the weekend from where we are now.
That'll be a fun
Yes.
game. I'll watch that.
Oh, good.
Packers are no slouches either. They're 8-3-1. They're basically just a few percentage points behind the Bears in the standings, and they are 7-point favorites. So I kind of have my concerns about the Bears going into this game.
Yeah.
But then the Eagles were, I think, 6.5-point favorites last week, and the Bears just dominated
They
them
buried them.
essentially. So we'll see how this game goes. Should be a really good game to watch. College football, this is conference championship weekend. The Big Ten championship, of course, is the one everybody's looking at because it features the top 2 teams in the country. Number 1 ranked Ohio State, number 2 ranked Indiana, both teams undefeated, the only 2 undefeated teams in the BCS football. Ohio State's a 4.5-point favorite. This game is being played in Indianapolis in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. No, that's the basketball stadium. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium, the football stadium in Indianapolis at 6 p.m. our time, 7 p.m. Eastern time there. My son is planning to attend that.
What's your prediction?
He's an
You and
Indiana
your
grad. I think Ohio State's a better team. I think they will win. Indiana has been remarkable. You know, they weren't even in the top 25 in the preseason.
In the preseason, that's right.
And they had a terrific season last year in their coach. The coach is Kurt Cignetti, who was just hired last year, and nobody expected much of them last year, but they went 11-2 on the season last year, and this year undefeated through the season. So I think they're upstarts. They don't have all the talent maybe that Ohio State has, but they just play fantastic. So
Yeah, and they have an outstanding quarterback.
And they do.
And I think Ohio State is vulnerable to the pass, but it will depend whether or not they have a good rush and cut down on the time the quarterback has to throw.
Yeah, it always does. There's other major conference championships this weekend. BYU versus Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship. Georgia and Alabama for the SEC championship. And Duke and Virginia for the ACC championship, all on Saturday. Notre Dame is 10-2. They're ranked number 10 in the country in the football playoff rankings. They'll play Texas A&M in the first round of the college football playoffs. Illinois 8-4. They're out of the rankings, but they should still get a pretty decent warm weather bowl assignment somewhere around New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So we'll hope to see that that's the case. Bowl assignments will come out after this weekend. And in the NHL, no games of interest last night, but tonight the St. Louis Blues are at Boston to play the Bruins, and the Blackhawks are out west to play the Los Angeles Kings. Rivermen in fourth place now with a 9-5-0 record, but just 5 points behind the league-leading Huntsville Havoc. They play 3 games this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out in Fayetteville, North Carolina, against the Marksmen. And the Chicago Bulls played last night. They lost to the New Jersey Nets 113-103. Record drops to 9-12, fifth loss in a row for the Bulls. And last night, the Bradley women lost at Nebraska. It was not much of a contest. They played close for the first quarter, but then they just blew it open. Nebraska wins 92-53.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
Girls' record drops to 4-4. They play Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Renaissance Coliseum over on the campus against Chicago State, and they should win that one. Chicago State just 1-7 on the season. And congratulations to Kate Popovic-Goss, Bradley's
Did she
head
deliver?
coach. Yes. Her and her husband welcomed a daughter this week.
Their first child, I
The
believe.
first child. So congratulations to them. They missed the tournament that they played last weekend in Fort Myers, and they were not in Nebraska for last night's game. But hopefully they'll be back on the side of the court coaching this weekend. We'll see. Bradley men, they're 5-4 after their come-from-behind win 64-60 Tuesday night over Washington State, and they'll play Northern Illinois University Saturday, 7 p.m. at Carver Arena.
They should win that one.
I would think so.
But
Northern just not good.
No.
No. And there was a little baseball news. If you're a White Sox fan, I know you're not really a White Sox fan, but I am. And they signed a free agent yesterday, a 30-year-old left-handed pitcher, Anthony Kay.
Anthony who?
K-A-Y. He was a big league pitcher from 2019 to 2023. Pitched a year with the Cubs. You probably don't remember.
No, I don't.
He didn't have much success in the big leagues, went over to Japan for the last 2 years and just dominated. He was
He
like
did.
incredible success over there. So he comes back now with a contract for the White Sox, and they'll hope that he can reproduce what success he had in Japan. Last year he was 9-6 was his record, but with a 1.74 earned run average.
Holy cow.
That's quite good.
It's amazing. I wonder what kind of money he made in Japan. And do you know how many Americans are currently or in the past season playing in
there's
Japan?
quite a few. They actually have a restriction. Each team can only have, I think, 2 Americans or something like that. I don't know what that's specifically what the rule is, but they have a limit on how many any team can have under contract. But yeah, there's quite a few Americans over there.
You know, I kind of encourage my grandson to look into playing in Japan or Korea. Some Americans play in Korea.
Oh, a lot of them. Yeah, again, they have the major league. KBO is the major league Korean big league.
How many teams in that league?
Like about 30 or something
Really?
like that. But they also have minor leagues over there. So
They do?
Some of the
Really?
some of the players from the U.S. go over there and play in lower level leagues. So they can get some experience. Salary wise, they don't make anything close to what they make in the big leagues. I would guess he made several $100,000 being one of the top pitchers. But he got a
fat contract with the White
contract with the White Sox. I didn't write it down, but I think it's like $10 million per year, $20 million for 2 years with a third-year option.
Wow,
But
that's
that's cheap for a pitcher
Sox.
these days.
And how old is 30 years old?
He's 30 years old.
Oh, that's old for a pitcher.
And he has not
Generally
had any
speaking.
injury issues in his past. He just had control problems and couldn't get people out when he was he played for 3 big league teams, Boston, Toronto, and with the Cubs, and just really didn't have a lot of luck. He had ERAs in the 6+ range when he pitched in the big leagues, but I think he'll be a little bit better. He's figured out how to get the ball over the plate.
control is important. I had control problems when I had a little bout here a couple of weeks ago.
I still do, Roger.
All right, there you have all the latest. Let's bring you up to date at the bottom of the hour with the stories we're following. And we start with the news brought to you by certified public accountant and tax specialist. Of course, we're talking about Matt Wall. He's with Gordon Stockman Wall. And you have financial issues, he's the go-to guy. He's CPA with over 40 years of experience. You can reach Matt Wall today at 309-692-4030. And we have news. Mike Dentino, what do you have?
Well, Roger, let's start out with this. One of the country's most controversial judges, James Boasberg, made a small but unusual decision yesterday. He ordered refunds for 2 Republicans who were found guilty of participating in the January 6 demonstrations at Capitol Hill in 2021. President Donald Trump issued pardons for Cynthia Ballinger and Christopher Price. The married couple had been tried and convicted on misdemeanor charges and ordered to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and restitution. Now, after their pardons, they requested a refund of those costs, but Judge Boasberg denied their request. The judge said he changed his position on this because of an appeals court ruling. Trump pardoned more than 1,500 Republicans that Democrats had prosecuted and sent to jail. More good economic news from President Trump. Yesterday, the president announced a reset of federal fuel standards that were increased under the Biden administration. The White House claims the decision will save $109 billion in total for American families. Trump said the regulations in the car industry caused car prices to increase by more than 25%. The announcement was welcomed by some of the company's leading auto leaders, such as Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley, who said this is a win for customers and common sense. Apparently, Wall Street agreed. The Dow jumped by more than 400 points, ending at 47,822. The NASDAQ reached 23,454, and the S&P totaled 6,849.
What is Caterpillar doing so differently that their stock price has soared in the last 9 months? Because Donald Trump became president, or are they doing more road building? What's Caterpillar done?
I think the people investing now realize that with these fuel standards being reduced, people will now be driving Caterpillars up and down the street.
Absolutely.
and that's going to increase sales.
I just put a deposit down in a D11.
Yeah, there you go. And you'll be bringing it in each day you're working
I'll
there.
have to decide between that and my big mining truck.
That you have in your barn?
Yeah. Well, I had to have a larger door put in for that.
Well, yeah. On a serious note, we don't really know.
Construction will pick up when the economy picks up, and that means more sales for
Yeah,
Caterpillar.
but that's down the road. I mean,
well, that's what
Caterpillar,
investment's about, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but see, the other thing, too, is Caterpillar, what people don't realize, they have a significant electrical power generation business with their solar division.
Didn't know that.
And when you look at some of these data centers that are going up, I had no idea that they're buying up parcels of 200 and 300 acres to build these things. I mean, we're talking about mall-sized and bigger areas.
For the solar panels.
Well, not for the solar panels.
The
for
data centers.
The data centers.
Okay.
And, you're going to have a building the size of Hoover Dam that's going to need 4 parking spots. So, I think that's on the horizon, and people are looking at Caterpillar and a lot of other people for solutions in, flattening the ground to build this monstrosity, and then building, power units that are going to be either powering it directly or on standby in case the power goes down, because God knows we can't let, AI stop just because there's no power.
Yeah. Caterpillar will be issuing dividends here pretty shortly, will they not?
Either that or they're split.
It may have come, well,
No, they're done splitting.
Yeah. You don't
think they'll split?
No, I
No?
know.
Okay.
If they were going to split, they would have split a long time.
yeah,
ago.
they generally, traditionally, they split at about 100 to 125.
Yeah.
And
And
they
that-
didn't do it this time.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed because one of the reasons I bought 2 shares.
Yeah, the horse is out of
I
the
wanted-
barn on that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And right now, they had a $9 increase yesterday, and the end of
Amazing.
the day at $591.49 a share.
That's huge.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Has it ever been that
Unbelievable.
high before? I don't think.
Oh,
No,
no.
Well,
Not
I
even
think
close.
I checked that out. Good question.
yeah?
It was, what is it?
591.
It was at 596, I think.
Really?
Well, earlier this year, yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right.
But the growth of the stock is just unbelievable.
This is the 5-year stock price.
Yeah.
You can see
Yeah.
it's peaking and probably still going to go up, I guess. I don't know.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's
Say what you want about
it's like 5 times what it was down here just a year or two ago.
Bumblebee.
yeah,
He's gone now.
Bumblebee. Yeah, Bumblebee's gone.
He's
Bumblebee's gone.
Yeah,
And
so
he and his wife, I think, bought a condo in Deerfield.
could be. Well, next time you see me, I'll be wearing my silk top hat and my monocle.
Yeah.
And lighting my cigar with $100 bills. Now I'm only using 20. But
In other news,
the Vaccine Advisory Committee of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is meeting today and tomorrow, and some medical sources are predicting a change in the schedule of childhood immunizations. There are indications that the universal hepatitis B vaccine dose, the one given shortly after birth, will be at issue. A University of Delaware student has been arrested with a car full of guns, body armor, and plans to carry out a mass shooting on the school's campus. Police identified the man as 25-year-old Pakistani immigrant Laquman Khan.
Are you sure?
No, not sure, but someone got arrested. In the world of music, Steve Cropper, songwriter and guitarist, has died at the age of 84. Known as the anchor for Booker T and the MGs, Cropper co-wrote Green Onions and Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. Cause of death was not revealed.
Remember this?
Yep,
Green
love this
Onions.
song.
Yep.
Till you listen to this, you can't feel bad.
No, you're right.
East Peoria officials are warning residents of a breach of the city's alert system. Cyber criminals may have been able to access personal information from the city's program for emergencies. The notification comes from Crisis 24, the risk management group handling the communication system. And don't forget the 4th annual Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront Museum. It begins tomorrow from 4 to 8. It continues Saturday from 12 to 8. The event features local food trucks and vendors, hot chocolate, horse-drawn carriage rides, laser holiday music, carolers, live animals, ballerinas, one of my personal favorites, and holiday movies in the giant screen theater. There is an admission charge.
Yeah, that's important to
And
know.
that's it for news at the bottom of the hour.
Now, check of the weather brought to you by your hometown community banks, Division of Morton Community Bank, 46 wonderful, convenient, friendly hometown locations throughout central Illinois, providing a variety of financial services. Look for the clock tower, and you'll know they have time for you. Member FDIC.
Sunny, very cold today, Roger. High just about 15. Wind chill values could reach about 8 below. Tonight's low 1 below. Tomorrow sunny, breezy, warmer with a high near 30. Tomorrow night cloudy and 21 for an overnight low. Saturday cloudy, high 31. Snow possible Saturday night, low 18. Right now, it's 10 degrees at the Wazoo.
What year was this song? Do you remember the era, Dr. Sidler?
60s.
Yeah, it was 60s, I believe, but
Early.
I don't remember specifically. I will look it up.
Wolfman Jack. I'm going to say 63.
This was
You're very
by,
close.
this song actually was by Booker T and the MGs, is that right?
Yes.
Were they together or were they separate?
What do you mean?
Who was, well, Booker T, was he the leader of the MGs?
Yes,
or-
he was.
Oh, okay. What was his real name?
Booker
Richard
T.
Nixon?
Jones.
Booker T. Jones?
And it was 1962.
Okay.
Here's the Booker T and the MGs. Don't ask me which one Booker T is. I think he's probably the guy sitting down, but I don't know that.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Boy, good-looking guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody wore suits back then, and then,
Yeah.
and then grunge came along.
Now let's see who can look more like a slob.
Yes, it is.
And we're talking about our show. Not Booker T.
Good point.
But that was a great group. What was the other big song? Doc.
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding,
He co-wrote "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay," but I don't think that's a Booker T song.
Okay.
No, it's Otis Redding.
That was Otis Redding had the big hit. I think it was actually put out before
Oh, really?
by somebody else.
Oh, really?
yeah.
'Cause I've only ever heard Otis Redding sing that.
Yeah, me too.
I will get that for you.
And you know, he lost his place or forgot in the later verses of that song, and that's why he whistles at the end. That was the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it just shows you they're human.
Well, I will correct myself. It has been recorded by others, but it was written by Otis Redding and his guitarist Steve Cropper. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You just
It
never
was
know.
written in August of 1967 while they were staying on a rented houseboat in Sausalito, California,
Sausalito.
on the bay.
You know what? I'm going to guess you have been to Sausalito.
Multiple times, yes.
Well, pardon me. I was there only once and had lunch, and it was really neat. It's a summer day, and you're sitting outside, and you look across the bay and see the skyline of San Francisco.
See
Pretty scenic.
Alcatraz and the
Yeah.
San Francisco skyline
Yeah.
across the bay.
Do you see the bridge? Can you-
Oh, yeah, over the Golden
the
Gate.
Golden Gate,
Yeah, it's right across
That's
the bridge.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you think, which raises the question, do you think anyone ever escaped from Alcatraz?
There's
yeah,
a
those
famous
three
story of the
successfully
three guys that
Anglin?
did escape,
what's the name?
but whether they
Anglin?
survived is still in question.
Yeah.
Their bodies have never been found.
I ran into a
But
gal.
now, I want to correct you on that. Clint Eastwood made it, and he's still alive.
Well,
Am I right?
yeah. Well, I don't in Alcatraz in the movie.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't remember that movie.
It was a good movie. There was more than one Alcatraz.
I did.
Clint Eastwood was one
I
of
did
them.
run into a gal.
What you heard?
She worked at a restaurant. What was the name of it? It was just off the corner of Adams and Caroline. There was a little restaurant down there.
That's right. I've eaten it. I think it was originally Clark's Cafe.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't. What was the guy's name? I'll think of it.
Clark.
No. That
Kent.
no. And this gal was a relative
Of Clint Eastwood.
Anglin, who supposedly escaped from
What'd she
Alcatraz.
say?
There were two Anglins. There was they were brothers, John and Clarence Anglin, and Frank Morris was the third.
I'm
guy.
sorry, Frank Morris. She was a relative of, and she'd been visited by the FBI.
Really?
Yeah.
So whether or not,
It was an
because
uncle.
they were never found, were they?
No.
They were never found. There were letters sent to the FBI later, even many years later, claiming to be one of them, but
What did it
the
say?
FBI could never confirm that.
She said her uncle was alive. She said that she thinks when she was a little girl that she
She
had,
saw him
saw him after.
at Clark's Cafe.
No, but after, and she thought he had made it, but no one knows for sure.
The presumption is that they drowned and their bodies were taken out to sea by the currents
Right.
that flow in and out.
And that was the big current. They said that was one of the reasons why you couldn't make it to shores because of the strong currents in the bay.
sharks.
Currents and the water is
Very
very
cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Now they do have a swimming competition between San Francisco and Alcatraz every year, and if you're a really good swimmer, you can make it out and back.
Well, these guys were not Olympic
and these guys were
swimmers,
not. Yeah, that was the difference.
I mean, I would think they would discourage swimming among Alcatraz prisoners during that period of time.
Okay, it's recess. Everybody into the bay.
Hey, guard, I'm going for a swim. I'll be right back.
Swim class, 3 p.m.
Yeah. I will say, I assume you went to tour Alcatraz while you were out there.
We did,
Yeah,
yes.
it was pretty neat, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
They had part of it that had been painted and kind of refurbished a little bit for a movie. And it was easy to tell
Well,
which one was
it
which.
was the movie The Escape from Alcatraz, and they had that paper mache mask
Heads,
that
yeah.
was supposedly
I didn't see
made by
that,
the
yeah.
criminals. They had the cell all set up the way it was found by
cool.
the
They
guards. Yeah, so that you could see that the guards could easily have been fooled because it took them 6 months to prepare for this. They dug holes through the concrete, which was kind of crumbling, and led
Right.
then to a ductway
Like a
or
maintenance maintenance
a
channel,
maintenance
yeah.
area behind their cell. It was able to get up to the roof and then climb down and then get to the shore. They took months to dig these openings, and then they would put the crumbled parts in their pocket, and out on the yard they'd drop them a little at a time so that nobody would ever see the remains of that. And then they made these paper mache heads
Yeah.
and took hairs little by little from themselves and implanted them on these paper mache heads that were very realistic looking, at least, you know.
That was pretty well recreated by the
In the
Clint
movie.
Eastwood
Yeah.
movie. That was pretty impressive. And the warden, the actor who played the part of the warden, it was a good movie. I certainly enjoyed it. Hey, I want to ask a real estate question of. You've been involved in assessments and purchase of businesses and so forth. I'm having a hard time understanding the announcement that they are selling via auction the ground floor of the Twin Towers.
Oh.
Explain that. I thought the Twin Towers, the building, which includes the ground floor, was owned at one time by Ray Becker or by a company that he sold it to. How can you sell the ground floor
Well, it's
and not the building?
It's condo, the same way you can sell a condo unit in a building. They just condoed it, and this is actually, I think, will be the third or fourth owner
Of the ground floor.
of the ground floor. Yeah.
It's just fascinating, but they're going to do it via auction, which
Yeah.
means they're hurting. I guess they had
Which means
a
whoever owns it
minimum.
now wants out. Yeah.
Yeah, who owns it currently?
You know what? I don't know who the principals are.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, when the story came out, I said, how can you sell
Yeah.
the ground floor of a building, but I guess the same way you can sell a condo on the 7th floor?
Right.
Yeah.
Or all
Same deal.
of the
Right.
condos on the 7th floor.
Right.
Want me to
right.
put a bid in for you here, Roger? I'm on the.
Are you interested?
I think the
I'm on the website, crexy.com. It's listed as 456 Fulton
$50
Street,
to bid or something, $500.
40,976 square feet.
Yeah, that's a pretty good size.
Wow.
We could carve
Office,
up a little
retail,
section for a
restaurant,
radio station.
storefront. Let's see, they've got, I guess you have to log in to find out more information.
Yeah, and who owns it?
Well, they don't tell you who the
It's an
current
LLC,
owner
I
is.
think, that owns it now.
There's some blurred out areas. Like I say, if you
Yeah.
subscribe and log in, you can see more information about what they're.
Probably owned
Giving
by an
here.
LLC that's named something like Legitimate Businessman Inc. LLC.
Yeah, there is a section for owner.
Names, don't they?
Yeah.
There is an ownership information section, and you have to be a subscriber to their site to
And what
see
do they
that.
charge to get it? They charge a little bit of something to get in the site to be able to bid.
Let's see, subscription
$500 or
site,
something, $1,000, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not finding it here.
All right,
Right now, it just opens up to.
Yeah.
I think we have a bidder for it. What are you bidding for on the ground floor of the Twin Towers?
60, 30, 40, 50, 5,000 sold to the highest bidder.
Okay,
Run that money.
we'll put your
Run
bid
that
in.
money.
Moneybags Parker is on the line. Good
I
morning.
think it'd be a good base for you. I think it'd be a good place for you to work out of. You put a
I
little
mean,
comedy
it
club
does-
down there, that'd be great.
It would have kung fu on one side and martial arts on one side and comedy on the other side. And if they don't think the joke's funny, you just beat the crap out of them.
There you go.
And on the other side, marital arts.
There you go. The comedy club could be called Laugh or Die.
Yeah, that's great.
No, look,
for
where we crack you, no, and the tagline where we crack you up or crack you up, literally.
Yeah.
Either going there on a Saturday night or coming from there.
Yeah, right. What happened to that guy? Oh, man, he didn't think the headliner was funny. He beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the
No,
holidays?
I saw this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what you saying for Terry?
I was just going to ask what the holiday schedule was, because that's coming up pretty soon, right? I guess
You said
not
the
for another
holidays?
month. The holiday schedule.
For Ed?
Yeah,
dude,
for the
it's
school, yeah.
Oh, we're done. We're done on the 19th of this month. We're done. The 19th is our early day. The Friday, the 19th of December, is the last day, and we don't go back until January 5th, and then some
Wow,
schools
that's
go back
unbelievable.
January 12th because they got a different type of schedule or whatever. But
See, I knew
when
it was
we
a
go-
long time, yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I interrupted. What were you
Yeah.
going to say?
It's my wife's birthday. That's why I was throwing
That's
it out.
right.
Oh,
Happy
it's my
birthday
birthday.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Mrs. Parker,
Emma.
Emma, my lovely queen, the goddess. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
Well, that's nice.
What are you going to get her for her
Yeah.
birthday?
Anything she asks for.
Well,
Uncle Roger, you already know, man. That's the thing. When you've been married as long as I have, I don't try to do the surprise stuff anymore. I don't do it. No, it ain't no trying to surprise you. It ain't, look, what do you want? Here's the money, or I'll go get it in advance. I learned that very early on in the marriage. It's just like, dude, it's some things you can't surprise your significant other about. If you at a jewelry store and they're looking eyeballing a particular piece of jewelry, you be like, yep, I'm going to have to save up for that one. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, you can be like, guess what I got? And you like, surprise, like, oh my goodness, that type of stuff. But trying to do something just because you think this is something that they like, don't do it. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't hurt your feelings. Just ask them, and then that's the best policy. What they
is the
say,
best
closed mouths
policy.
don't get fed.
tell everybody again how you met Emma.
Oh, here we go with that story. So everybody know I've been doing private security and stuff like that for eons. And so I was at the mall. This was in 2000 and, oh my goodness, is it 5 or, I can't remember anymore, Uncle Roger. It's been so long ago, dude. It's been well over 2 decades. So my point is, I was doing theft prevention security at the mall. So I'm dressed like a plainclothes officer, and I'm behind the scenes. And she came into a particular clothing store, and as the story goes, she said I spoke to her first. I beg to differ, but we'll argue about that another day. So I was leaning on a mannequin that didn't have a head. And I said, guess what's cool about this guy? He can't give you no lip. Get it? Because it didn't have a head.
Yes.
So it's a headless mannequin. And she came up to me and asked me about a particular outfit that would just match with that or something like that. Because I guess from a man's perspective, she was asking about shopping she was doing for her twin brothers. I said, oh, that's kind of ironic. My sister shops for me because my sister's really tall. So, like, she'll see something and be like, hey, bro, what do you think about this type of stuff? So one thing led to another. She handed me, I was a poster up because Cat Williams was getting ready to perform at the Civic Center, and I was one of the opening acts. And it ended up getting canceled because of that really bad blizzard we had in 2005 or whenever it was. I don't remember exact time and date or whatever, but it was going to be in December and it ended up getting postponed to February. But I asked her, I said, hey, have you ever been to a live comedy show? Because that's me on the poster, blah, 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 trying to let her know that, you know, I'm the man, I'm the guy, I'm the comedian guy around here. And she said, no, I've never been to a live show. I said, well, why don't you come out with me this weekend? I'm doing a couple of shows at the Jukebox Comedy Club. Long story short, we supposed to have went out that Friday. This was a Wednesday when we met, and I stood her up.
Oh, you
Yeah,
didn't.
you
You
heard it,
forgot.
everybody. Yep, I forgot. Well, because it was my grandpa had passed, and it was his funeral that weekend. And so I got to hanging out with my cousins and kind of slipped my mind. And I ended up seeing her the next morning on Saturday. And then she's like, well, what happened? And to add more to the story, she hadn't had a date in 5 years prior to that. So it was one of those situations where she had called her family, got everybody all pumped up, like, hey, I met this guy. He's a comedian. I'm going to go to date with him, blah, blah, blah. And me, as the moron that I was, stood her up. Long story short, I made it up to her because we've been married for damn near 20 years. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. When you said
that's the silver lining. That's the silver lining in the story. But it's more to it. You know that, Uncle Roger. I told you the long version. That's the short version. But like I said, I was a moron, and I made it up to her, and I've been making it up to her ever since then.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
like you said,
I want to correct you. You said, to make a long story short, it was too late.
right, on too long. I forgot. No, but
Well, happy birthday to Emma.
Yes, thank you. I know you guys got to do the pet tip of the day, so I'll say this in closing. Miss Parker, if you see this, whatever you do, you know I love you. You're my life. You're the purpose of why I'm here. By the grace of God, He gave me an amazing woman that cooks great, and you look good. Peace and blessings. Love you, baby.
Well said,
Happy
my
birthday.
friend. Happy birthday to Emma. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
later, guys.
See you later.
Y'all be safe, man.
Brought to you by
It's
Peoria
cold out
Pet
there,
Crematory
y'all.
of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. Do not feed cats milk. I know it's what we've grown up seeing in cartoons, storybooks, and on greeting cards, but it's not good for cats. Cow's milk will cause diarrhea or vomiting in many cats and kittens, and not all, but quite a few. You won't know if your cat is one of those until you give them some milk and see what happens. If your cats can drink cow's milk without having diarrhea or vomiting, it's fine then to give them a little as a treat, say no more than 2 or 3 tablespoons. As for feeding it to very young kittens, it's not good to replace much of their standard diet with cow's milk because it is not nutritionally complete. I would not give cow's milk to a kitten under the age of 4 months and then only a small amount. If you find yourself suddenly with orphaned kittens and can't get to the store, there are many recipes for kitten formula on the internet which begin with cow's milk but add other things to make them more nutritionally complete. If you are bottle feeding a kitten, you should really buy a kitten formula product like kitten milk replacement. It's what all rescue groups use and is easily found in many different stores in the pet section. As always, consult your veterinarian for his advice if you have any problems or concerns. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's Pet Tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song. Ring, joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing song of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. On they send, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song. Ring, joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling the tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing song of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. On they send, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Ding dong, ding dong.
And a pleasant good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, December 4th, and you're having breakfast with Roger and Friends, WAZU FM 90.7 in Peoria, Illinois, and also on YouTube. And we begin this portion of our program with a check of the weather, brought to you by Mr. Weather, Kyle Varnold. Kyle, a insurance professional, eager and very eager, I might add, to serve you with free reviews of your insurance plans for auto, homeowners, health, and life coverages, and that includes Medicare plans as well. He does it to make sure you're receiving the right insurance at the right cost. No obligation for this free service. You can reach Kyle at 309-682-0519.
Sunny and very cold today, Roger. High just 15. Wind chill values could reach as low as 8 below tonight. 1 below for a low. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, warmer with a high near 30. It'll seem warm. Tomorrow night, cloudy and 21 for the overnight low. Saturday, cloudy, high 31. Snow possibly on Saturday night, low 18. Sunday, you should be able to make it to church on time. It'll be partly sunny and high just 25. Not bad. Right now, it's a chilly 10 degrees at the wazoo.
You remember the song, Getting to the Church on Time?
I do.
You know, that was from a musical, was it not? I know, I think it was Robert Goulet who sang the song, Get Me to the Church on Time.
To the church.
I don't know.
I think it was from a musical.
It was a wedding.
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady. There you are, boys and girls. I'm not as dumb as I look. More people are turning to home health care. And that's debatable for loved ones. Yes, right. And more people choosing Spoon River Home Health. That's because their staff, professional and personal, have been for over 30 years. They're available for information as we speak at 309-245-0723. That's 245-0723. And now the news, Mike Dentino and Terry Grawey reporting.
Well, thank you, Roger. One of the country's most controversial liberal judges, James Boasberg, made a small but unusual decision yesterday. He ordered refunds for 2 Republicans who were found guilty of participating in the January 6 demonstrations at Capitol Hill in 2021. President Donald Trump issued pardons for Cynthia Ballinger and Christopher Price. The married couple had been tried and convicted on misdemeanor charges and ordered to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and restitution.
After their pardons, they requested a refund of those costs, but Judge Boasberg denied the request. The judge said he changed his decision because of an appeals court ruling that Trump pardoned more than 1,500 Republicans that Democrats prosecuted and sent to jail.
More good economic news from the president. Yesterday, the president announced a reset of federal fuel standards that were increased under the Biden administration. The White House claims that decision will save $109 billion in total for American families. Trump said regulations in the car industry caused car prices to increase by more than 25%.
The announcement was welcomed by some of the country's leading automakers, such as Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley, who said, quote, "This is a win for customers and common sense," end quote. Apparently, Wall Street agreed. The Dow jumped by more than 400 points, ending at 47,882. The Nasdaq reached 23,454, and the S&P totaled 68,49. Caterpillar had a $9 increase, ending at $591.49 a share.
The Vaccine Advisory Committee of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is meeting today and tomorrow, and some medical sources are predicting a change in the schedule of childhood immunizations. There are indications that the universal hepatitis B vaccine dose, the one given shortly after birth, will be at issue. ABC News is claiming that the vaccine has virtually eliminated the virus among children.
And I want to talk to you about that, Doc. Do you know what our governor did with vaccines or something? Some Billy just. Yeah, I want to talk about that after the news.
I'm not up to date on that. I can talk about the hepatitis B vaccine, but it's a controversial issue.
Well, the state of Illinois is doing something with vaccines now.
Yeah,
They just
we
signed
could
some-
talk about it after the newscast, but you're right. Pritzker's trying to one-up the Robert Kennedy Jr., and he's taken some pot shots at him politically, and I think, unfortunately, healthcare has become and is very political.
Political issue. Yeah, that's too bad.
Enough.
A University of Delaware student has been arrested with a car full of guns, body armor, and plans to carry out a mass shooting on the school's campus. Police identified the man as 25-year-old Pakistani immigrant Lakhwan Kwan. Notes found including targeting the school's police department on his hit list. One of his weapons was a handgun that could be quickly adjusted to become a rifle.
In the world of music, Steve Cropper, songwriter and guitarist, has died at the age of 84. Known as the anchor for Booker T and the MGs, Cropper co-wrote Green Onions and Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. Cause of death was not revealed.
East Peoria officials are warning residents of a breach of the city's alert system. Cybercriminals may have been able to access personal information from the city's program for emergencies. The notification comes from Crisis 24. That's the risk management group handling the communication systems.
And don't forget that the 4th annual Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront Museum begins tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. It'll continue Saturday from 12 to 8 p.m. The event features local food trucks and vendors, hot chocolate, horse-drawn carriage rides, laser holiday magic, carolers, live animals, ballerinas, and holiday movies in the giant screen theater. There is an admission charge for this.
Yes, and you mentioned kind of quietly about how you like ballerinas.
Oh, yeah.
And you took ballerina lessons, did you not? Or at least dance lessons from your aunt?
Well, I had my hands all over ballerinas for most of my
Yes,
life.
I realize that. And you married one, for that
Well,
matter.
I mean, a basketball ballerinas.
What is a basketball ballerina?
Well, that's a woman that shimmies and shakes all the way up to the
net.
Oh, really?
And a little known
And a
story, a little
that too.
I could see you in a tutu.
a factoid, Terry. Because of his skills at ballerina, he became a regular for 4 years, not 1 year or 2 years, 4 years on the fencing team at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
Did
Wait,
you know that?
you were in
No,
a...
my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was.
And you think ballet,
Yes.
ballerine did that for you?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well,
is that true or not?
No,
your dad?
it's the fancy footwork that a soft shoe guy develops over the course of many years was quite useful when he got to the University of Notre
Really?
Dame.
Did he letter in?
Yeah.
Yes, 4 years.
There's another local guy, Roger Holzgraf. Did you know Roger Holzgraf?
He was an attorney, was he?
Yeah,
not?
he was a
There's something about attorneys who can
in
dance.
fencing too
Well,
at Notre Dame.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, if you look in the Joyce Convocation Center, there's like a ring around the outside, for a walkway where the food vendors and all that are.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very top edge of that is called the Wall of Fame.
Okay.
And they list every Notre Dame letterman by decade.
Really?
And if you look up there in the 40s and 50s, you'll see M. Dentino.
No
And the
kidding.
interesting thing was the next name after him is B. Duff. And that's only significant because Brian Barnett Duff was a federal judge. And
Really?
I'd never met the man, but one of the other attorneys that I shared office space with taught classes with Judge Duff at John Marshall, one of the other law
John
schools.
Marshall Law School, yeah.
And they realized, they were having a conversation one day at school and realized that they both knew a Mike Dentino, But you know, my friend says, "Oh yeah, but you know, the one I know is from Peoria. The one I know is from Peoria too."
What a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the funny part of it was he came back and they realized, okay, it had to be father and son, and he introduced me at a gathering a couple of months later, and Judge Duff treated me like
a
I was
friend.
his long lost
Really?
nephew.
No, is that right?
Yeah, which
What a story that is.
it was. You know, I keep telling people, life really, the world's not nearly as large as we imagine it to be.
Right.
Because I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm constantly bumping into people that I have some sort of, you know, what is it, seven levels of separation.
Oh yeah, 8
sort
degrees
of
of
thing.
separation,
Yeah.
whatever they call it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just keep your eyes open.
Now,
6 degrees. Okay.
6 degrees. Was it 6 now or 8? It used to be 8. I think they lowered it.
It originally was 6. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
everybody knows Kevin Bacon in one way,
Yeah.
one way or another.
That was
Now, obviously you didn't see your dad fence because you weren't around when he did it. But
True.
did you see him later on in life? Did he show you some?
Oh yeah,
What do they call that?
Some
spirit-
moves.
yeah, the moves.
Yeah, there's
What's that called, Gene? There's a name for the opening stance
well,
or whatever.
thrust or yeah. I
Well-
took fencing lessons when I was in college,
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
I found it
Pushed by your
fascinating.
dad to do that, or?
No, it was just one of these things that I thought, well, he seemed to like that, so I'll give it a try. There's 3 primary weapons when in fencing circles. There's foil, epee, and saber.
Well, and then gun. The gun usually
Well,
wins.
I mean, that makes for a short fencing match.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, the foil is what most people see, and it's a long, very thin, very flexible weapon. Epee is shorter and not as flexible, and saber, it's like Captain
Well, these
Blood.
are different kinds of swords?
Oh yeah, different types of swords.
Did your dad keep these around when you guys grew up?
Oh yeah.
So you knew.
Well, we knew it's like
If he gets out there,
Put
we
that-
pay.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
no, it's like put that damn thing down before you poke your brother's eye out.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead with the news, okay?
Well, we were done with it.
We were done with it. Yeah.
Okay.
We finished.
Well, we're done.
Well, we're more than finished. But,
Yeah, we're well done.
was one of the familiar verbiage in fencing on guard?
Yeah.
And
That's how it starts.
And then another one very familiar is ow.
Ow! That hurt. Occasionally you hear the my eye.
But no, you wear masks. They do have masks,
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
do have masks.
So they don't know who stabbed
Yeah, and that was before the COVID-19.
Yes.
Well, you know,
They were doing that.
Notre Dame's fencing team has been
One of the best in the
premier
country.
in the country. I mean, you regularly see
Really?
people off the Notre Dame fencing team on the U.S. Olympic team.
They're that
Wow.
good. You know, it's amazing. There's certain words you can't use on, even on public radio. I would love to tell the story about when your dad went to get equipment to be a part of the fencing team, and there was a guy in the athletic supply department who used to call everybody the same word. Do you remember what it was? I'll tell you off the air, and then you guys tell me whether or not I can use it on the air.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm June Delahunty. East Peoria is keeping its property tax levy steady, representing a slight drop in the tax rate for the next fiscal year. The City Council unanimously approved holding the estimated amount collected at $5.9 million. Mayor John Call says residents still will see their total property taxes increase, as East Peoria is just one of 10 taxing bodies in the community, and the city's portion is just a fraction of what people pay.
It literally represents 11.5%. I'll say it again, 11.5% of your overall property tax bill. That's it.
Commissioner Mark Hill says the majority of the city's revenue comes from sources other than property taxes. Some Bradley University students pursuing careers in the legal field have a new path to law school through a partnership with DePaul University. The two institutions have announced a direct admission agreement that gives qualifying Bradley seniors and recent graduates guaranteed acceptance to DePaul's College of Law in Chicago, along with scholarship support. Up to 5 qualifying students will receive a minimum annual scholarship of more than $13,000. All undergraduate majors can apply. Democratic Congressman Eric Sorensen says a recent vote denouncing socialism was a Republican ploy to generate attack ads for Democrats. Sorensen was one of nearly 90 House Democrats who voted for the measure.
I am a fighter for Medicare and for Medicaid. I'm a supporter of our police and our fire and making sure that our roads are taken care of, that our schools are funded, and that Social Security remains essential for people.
Sorensen said his record speaks for itself. Some Ameren customers in central and southern Illinois will receive a credit on upcoming power bills. The credit comes from a $38 million settlement between the state and Dynegy Corporation. The decade of investigation and litigation that led to the settlement stems from an electricity capacity auction conducted by the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, or MESO. That resulted in an electricity capacity price 40 times higher than all other zones and nearly 9 times higher than the prior year price. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul says Dynegy manipulated the market to overcharge electric customers. I'm June Delahunty.
All right, boys and girls, 7:15 is our time, and that means time for sports with Dr. Gene Sidler, brought to you by BradleyFans.com. Good morning, Gino.
Thank you, Roger. Thursday Night Football tonight. Pretty good matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys 6-5-1, Lions 7-5. But both of them are just outside the playoff picture at the present time, so very important game, and they need to win. Only one team can win, unless it's a tie.
That's amazing. They have had some ties, haven't they?
There are a couple ties every year. Yeah, they still have the tiebreaker system, but there still can be a way they can end up tied at the end of that. The Bears, they're the top team in the NFC with a 9-3 record. They play Green Bay on Sunday. That's a 3:25 p.m. game. Packers are 8-3-1. They had a tie earlier in the season. They are right behind the Bears in the standings, but they are 7-point favorites in Sunday's game up in Green Bay. In college football, this is conference championship weekend. The Big Ten championship is the one that's going to get the most attention because it's got the top two teams in the college football playoff rankings. Undefeated number 1 ranked Ohio State versus number 2 undefeated Indiana. A little bit of a surprise there because they were not even in the top 25 when the preseason ratings came out. The game 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday in Indianapolis, and Ohio State a 4.5-point favorite in that game. The NBA last night, Chicago Bulls lost to the New Jersey Nets 113-103. Their record drops to 9-12. That was their 5th loss in a row. Bulls reeling a little bit after they had won 6 of their first 7 games and looked like they were going to have a better season. Bradley women played last night over in Lincoln, Nebraska. Lost to University of Nebraska 92-53. Their record drops to 4-4 on the season. Their next game is Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Renaissance Coliseum on the Bradley campus against Chicago State. The Bradley men, they're 5-4 after their come from behind 64-60 win Tuesday night over Washington State. They'll play Saturday night against Northern Illinois University at Carver Arena. That's at 7 p.m. And congratulations to Bradley women's head coach Kate Popovic-Goff and her husband Holly Goss. They had their first child this week, a daughter. Of course, they missed the trip down to Fort Myers, Florida for the women's tournament down there, and they were not in Lincoln, Nebraska last night as well, but they hope to be back coaching soon, possibly as soon as Sunday's game. And in baseball news, I mentioned last hour, the Chicago White Sox had a free agent signing. 30-year-old free agent left-handed pitcher Anthony Kay once pitched for the Cubs back in 2023. He had a 5-year major league career, but never really had quite success, but has pitched the last 2 seasons over in Japan and was very successful there, so he's coming back on a 2-year, $20 million contract to play for the White Sox. Yeah, again, that's cheap for a starting pitcher these days. So if he can at least just eat up some innings and pitch well enough to keep the White Sox in some games, maybe that'll be worth it. Cubs and Cardinals still very quiet on the free agent front, not much happening. The baseball winter meetings start this weekend on Sunday night down in Orlando, and that's when a lot of free agent signings, all the agents are there and trying to bid up their clients' worth to the owners, and you might see some trades come out of that next week as well. So little baseball, what they used to call the hot stove league during the winter, where you do a lot of your trading and free agent signing and plans for the following year. We'll see what happens. That's it for sports.
That's it for sports, brought to you by BradleyFans.com.
Thank you.
Does this sound a little familiar to you?
Doc of the day.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide.
Now that's Otis Redding, and but the song was written by Steve Cropper
and Otis Redding.
And Otis Redding. They collaborated for this?
Yes.
And what year are we talking about?
63. 1968.
1968. Where were you in 1968? Gentlemen?
This was released in January of 1968. I was a freshman on the campus of Bradley University.
Interesting. And that was the year I started working at Methodist Medical Center. I think I remember seeing you with your long sideburns and bell-bottom trousers. Remember, weren't they popular then?
Well, they were,
Yeah.
Where were you, Mike?
I was in 7th grade at St. Mark's.
And Terry?
I think I was in 5th grade at St. Philomena's.
So, Dr. Sidler was surrounded by a Catholic cabal.
Let's see if I can.
This song was a big song in 1968, was it not?
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
The song, my brother was in Vietnam, and he said it's the only song that they had, that they played there, and they played it over
On
and over.
Armed Forces Radio.
Yeah, it's the only song that they had it in their base, yeah.
He was stationed where?
I think he was in Doc Phu in Vietnam.
I'm sure, they had the movie Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams and so forth, and I'm sure American Forces Radio Network was alive and well back then, as it was when I was
You see my
there.
sideburns. Now, this is a couple years later. This is my medical school graduation in 75.
That's
two of them.
Dr. John Marshall,
William.
William Marshall,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yes.
I recognize him. Now, can you tell which one
Yeah,
is
can you-
Gene and which one is Glenn?
No idea.
Yeah.
That's me.
Turn that around. I'm going to show our people.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, what?
I'm off on a different photo. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Turn that around and see if, help me as I...
There you go.
That was my medical school graduation at the Airy Crown Theater at
wow. There you
McCormick
go.
Place in Chicago.
I thought it was Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse.
Well, the medical schools at that time still held their graduation with the Chicago class in Chicago. And now they do it separately here in Peoria, but no, it was in...
And your brother
Chicago.
graduated too as a doctor? Or
Yeah.
is your brother a doctor? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What
They are
medicine was he-
identical twins.
What medicine did he
Well, he
practice?
became an internal medicine doctor and a pulmonary specialist.
Really?
I didn't know he was a
In this
pulmonologist.
area, doctor?
Well, yeah, he joined the group with Dr. Bogeski for several
Stan
years.
Bogeski from Morton, Illinois.
And
You've
Norm
seen-
Nathan, you remember Dr. Nathan?
Yes.
He was a partner with them for several years and then decided to branch out and just practice general internal medicine. So he moved up the chain to join my group.
He did.
So
Glenn
he
did.
was a part with me then.
I didn't know that. When
Oh,
was
you son of a gun.
Well, Glenn at one time practiced in Washington.
Well, yes.
Yes,
And
because that's-
Metamora.
he was,
We had offices in Washington, Metamora,
So
and
you were a cartel.
Morton.
Yeah, wow.
I guess you could say that.
Cabal. Yeah, right.
Well, it became difficult for us all to keep moving around, so we eventually kind of just settled. Glenn settled in Metamora, and then later moved his office to Washington. And
I
that's
think,
how that worked. I went back, and for a while I was shuttling back and forth between Metamora and
Now,
Morton.
there's a proud mom, huh? 2 kids that are
Yeah.
both doctors?
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. And how about a father, too?
Oh, Dad was a doctor?
No, he was proud.
No, he was.
You know, you said only the mother was proud.
Mom's, I know, Dad.
Well,
I know,
no,
but
give Dad credit for that.
I know.
Your brother was my dad's physician for a time as well, so we got acquainted. Who was the doctor who was practicing in that area? I think was it Dr. Elsasser? Was Dr.
Well, there was
Elsasser?
a Dr. Elsasser in Metamora for a long
Yeah.
time. He was an osteopathic physician.
Yes, right.
A DO, yeah.
I think he passed away on a golf course. Do I remember that right? Was his first name
might have been
Steve?
Steve, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember him, as a matter of fact. I want to talk, all three of you are very knowledgeable about automobiles. I am not, even though I point historically to when I was able to change spark plugs on my car.
Try that now.
That's hard to do now.
Which right now you can't find them.
No,
they're hidden.
And even if you could, you
and
couldn't.
will always be hidden for that matter. But you know, and we talked about it, and there's some political implications because they put some strong regulations on the automobile industry, and they talked about carbon emissions and that you got to meet this and that and so forth. I never, maybe the three of you can help me understand. Politicians worried about the amount of emissions from automobiles and have said nothing about the jet fuel emissions from thousands every day of flights over the skies, spewing out the carbon, the fuel, et cetera, from jet engines, and we're worrying about a guy driving a Volkswagen. Can you politically, can you explain that to me? And this is one of the reasons President Trump is deregulating all of the regulations that took place over the past 4 years, and as a result, that'll bring down the price of automobiles and other vehicles to a more reasonable level.
Well, I mean, to a degree, that's true. I think what's actually going to do more to reduce the price of automobiles and the level of fuel we use is actually him allowing key cars to be imported, which key cars are these very, very small, they're subcompact cars. You see them all over Japan. You just don't see them here, partly because they don't necessarily adhere to the same crashworthy specs.
Oh, you got that right.
But then again, I mean, part of if you look back in the 70s, you had cars like the Pinto and the Vega, which, I mean, you could never sell one now because they don't have, they're not as crashworthy as cars are now. So there's no question government regulations have pushed the price of cars to where it is today. And just cutting back on the CAFE regulations, I don't believe it's going to do a whole lot to reduce the astronomical price of cars that we see right now.
What do you mean by CAFE regulations? I saw that in the news release that I read. I had no idea what they were talking about.
CAFE stands for Corporate Automobile Fuel
Emissions?
It's either emissions or economy. I don't remember what the last E is for. Yeah. But up to, corporations are forced or required to have an average fuel economy rating across all their lines of a certain number. And it's not just, our subcompact tiny car gets 40 miles to a gallon, and our huge truck gets, 5 miles to a gallon. It's not just, one car and one truck. It's across all their sales. So if they sell 100,000 cars, you have to look at those 100,000 cars, average the fuel economy among those 100,000. And it has to be this number or lower. And so what happens is the companies have to either sell a lot more small economy cars, which makes them less money, or their big cars, their SUVs and behemoth trucks have to get better gas mileage so that they can fit in the average of that the government requires.
You know, you talk about these tiny cars. When I was stationed, thanks to Uncle Sam in Germany, Messerschmitt and a couple of other companies made these real tiny, and the Messerschmitt would look like the cockpit of the Messerschmitt fighter plane. And they were three-wheel, two in the front, one behind. And you don't see them anymore because they were really, in the grand scheme of things, not very practical because only one or two people could get in them. So when you mentioned that we could see the influx of that coming from Japan, I don't see it happening.
Well, I think they're going to be people. Oh, there you go. There's
a Messerschmitt.
That's a nice little Messerschmitt there.
Hey, I
You
wonder
see them
where-
at car shows.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them.
You know, I wanted to yell at the German driver, hey, where's the rest of your plane?
Yeah, that looks like what it ejects to save the pilot.
Yeah,
But,
you're right.
Yeah.
It may have one in there.
You know, and I tell you what, is, you know, there's always going to be a market niche for people who, you know, the term now, or they use sometimes, are hyper milers. People that want cars that get 40, 50, 60 miles to a gallon. And, you know, there are some cars that do that. And more importantly, there are people that they drive in a manner that gets that level of mileage. It's not easy. Most of us just want to hop in the car, stick the key in, turn it, and go.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But, you know, it's every change, like reducing the numbers required to meet CAFE standards, it's going to make it easier for the car makers, but I don't know that it's actually going to bring the price of the cars down.
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
You don't think it ever?
I think it'll allow the
Back
car
up.
makers to sell more Excursions and Ram trucks and, you know, a lot of big cars. Cadillac will be happy about it.
Yeah.
It will keep the government from issuing massive fines, which is how they have threatened to enforce these CAFE standards. And I mean, we're talking billions of dollars in fines were threatened to these companies if they didn't meet these CAFE standards. So that is taken away a little bit by reducing the standards a little bit, or relaxing the standards a little bit, and maybe that brings the cost of the cars down a little as well.
All right, we are bringing you up to date with our news at the bottom of the hour. It is 7:31. And our news at the bottom of the hour brought to you by Bob Manning. He's Senior Vice President, Financial Advisor with the Grandview Capital Group at Morgan Stanley. For all your investment needs, let me remind you, Bob Manning is available. His phone number 309-671-4653. Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Mike Dentino has our headlines. Michael?
Indeed, Roger. One of the country's most controversial judges, James Boasberg, made a small but unusual decision yesterday. He ordered the refunds for two Republicans who were found guilty of participating in the January 6th demonstrations at Capitol Hill in 2021. President Donald Trump issued pardons for Cynthia Ballinger and Christopher Price. The married couple had been tried and convicted on misdemeanor charges and ordered to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and restitution. After their pardons, they requested a refund of those costs, but Judge Boasberg initially denied their request. The judge said he changed his decision based on an appeals court ruling. Trump pardoned more than 1,500 Republicans that Democrat prosecutors sent to jail. More good economic news from President Trump. Yesterday, the president announced a reset in federal fuel standards that were increased under the Biden administration. The White House claims the decision will save $109 billion in total for American families. Trump said regulations in the car industry caused car prices to increase by 25%. The announcement was welcomed by some of the company's leading auto leaders, such as Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley, who said, "This is a win for customers and a win for common sense." Apparently, Wall Street also agreed. The Dow jumped by more than 400 points, ending at 47,882. The NASDAQ reached 23,454, and the S&P 500 totaled 6,884. Caterpillar had a $9 increase and closed the day at $591.49 per share. The Vaccine Advisory Committee of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is meeting today and tomorrow, and some medical sources are predicting a change in the schedule of childhood immunizations. There are indications that universal hepatitis B vaccine dose given shortly after birth will be at issue. A University of Delaware student has been arrested with a car full of guns, body armor, and plans to carry out a mass shooting on the school's campus. Police identified the man as 25-year-old Pakistani immigrant Luqman Khan. In the world of music, Steve Cropper, songwriter and guitarist, has died at the age of 84. Known as the anchor for Booker T and the MGs, Cropper co-wrote Green Onions and Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. Cause of death was not revealed. East Peoria officials are warning residents of a breach of the city's alert system. Cybercriminals may have been able to access personal information from the city's program for emergencies. Notification comes from Crisis 24, the risk management group handling the communication system. And finally, don't forget the 4th annual Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront Museum. It begins tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. It'll continue Saturday from 12 to 8 p.m., and the event features local food trucks, vendors, hot chocolate, horse-drawn carriage rides, laser holiday magic, carolers, live animals, ballerinas, and holiday movies in the giant screen theater. There is an admission charge. And Roger, that's it for news at the bottom of the hour.
Now the weather outlook, which is a cold one, is brought to you by Advanced Medical Transport, providing outstanding emergency care. They've been around doing that with their men and women since 1991. AMT covers a total of 65 communities and then some, with 54,911 calls a year and another 15,000 scheduled medical service calls. Saving lives is what they do at Advanced Medical Transport.
You're right about the cold, Roger. Sunny, very cold today, a high 15. Wind chill values could reach 8 below. Tonight's low about 1 below. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, warmer with a high near 30. Tomorrow night, cloudy and 21 for the overnight low. Saturday, cloudy, high 31. Right now, it's around 10 degrees at the wazoo.
And at the wazoo, we're warming things up with Dr. Gene Sidler, a retired physician, retired attorney, Mike Dentino, and just a guy who's retired.
Just hanging out.
Terry Grawey. And, of course, the Grawey name, well known in our community for many, many years. I think you have a brother who is judge.
I had a brother that's retired judge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what kind of cases did he do primarily, or did he cover the waterfront?
I think he covered the waterfront. He did a lot of divorce stuff. And then he was in Pekin, and then he covered. He was a circuit judge, so covered the end.
Speaking of divorce, there was some discussion on one of the cable channels this morning that Taylor Swift and Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, have never argued. They've never had a single argument. Then somebody else.
BS on
they haven't been together long enough.
Well, they haven't been. Yeah, exactly. And then they had George Clooney. That's what I call him. He's a good George Clown, saying that he and his wife have never. This guy is one of the most temperamental, irritating individuals you would want to meet. And for him to claim in their, I guess, 10 years of whatever this marriage is for him, that they've never argued. You know why? Because he's never let us, just like Roy said, he and his wife had words last night. Unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to use any of his.
Well, here's the thing. If they've never argued, I'd certainly say that okay, maybe they haven't argued, but she certainly slapped the crap out of him.
Yeah,
once or twice.
that's impossible. Come on, everybody.
I believe it could be the case that happens.
You've never argued with your wife, Gene? You're not going to come up with that, are you? Gene.
Maybe
Gene.
if we go far enough back in the past, but
Recently, no.
no,
Really?
we don't.
Well, as you get older,
We might have differences, different opinions about things.
Well, yeah.
But
well,
when that
like my wife and I'm
happens,
right and
just
she's
shut up.
wrong.
yeah, that's right. That's common, yeah.
No, I mean, I have a traditional
Oh,
marriage.
no, that's not.
You have a
Which means,
traditional
which, yes,
marriage,
which means
what's
my wife's always right and I'm just the mutterer. I'm that guy that follows behind her about 4 steps. Tell me what I can do. I'm the king of the castle.
Isn't it true, gentlemen, that early on in your marriage, the number one issue that is argued is money?
I
don't think we ever really argued about it that much. We never had anything to argue about.
Well, I read years ago a survey
I don't think
of
we did.
People who got a divorce that said the number one issue was money.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a factor.
I think that's I think
it's on the- yeah.
in marriages that fail, certainly that's one of the central themes. I think.
Well, particularly when they get a divorce and they sit across, who's going to get the car, who's going to get the dog.
Yeah.
Who's,
Well,
and I know cases. I know a case where a couple got a divorce, and the wife had charged over $25,000 on a credit card.
Ooh.
And even though they parted, he was as responsible as she was.
Right.
Is that true, Mr. Attorney?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's even if that $2,500
No,
or
$25,000
is for Coach bags and
Underwear.
Lululemon and Victoria's Secret underwear.
Well, that's okay.
The court looks at it as, hey, it's a family expense. So even if it's all stuff that only she wears, and even if she refuses to show him the Victoria's Secret underwear, he's jointly and severally
He has a
responsible.
right to wear it, though, right?
Well, if he can pry it out of a cold dead hand, yeah.
Well,
Well,
Rod,
maybe.
You were married for a long
58
time. So what
58 now.
was your, did you guys argue?
The question was, how often? Sure, we argued. You bet about
two people who live together.
what comes before money early on in the marriage is disciplining the children. Arguments.
Yeah, well, that's
Arguments
We were
between.
always- we
And
were
you know,
always-
the number one issue that I struggled with was when one of the children would become ill. I had a hard time handling that.
Yeah.
Because it's beyond my control.
I was married to a pediatric nurse. That was real easy for me.
Yeah, well, you take care of that. Yeah. I'll pay the air conditioning bill this month.
I'll buy the
You take care of
amoxicillin,
the
like
kid.
55-gallon drums. You take care of administering it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, for the child discipline thing, or, your child's in an activity or not in an activity, child rearing things, if you're not on the same page, that's a huge point of friction.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm not saying one parent should kowtow to the other, but, if you want to be happy and argue considerably less, the two of you need to be on the same page. If you're a spare the rod and, spoil the child type of person, you don't want to be married to someone who's a gentle parenting advocate, because you're in for, one of you is in for a very rude surprise.
One of the big myths of marriage is if you want a happy marriage, you have to have a 50-50 arrangement.
Well,
somebody has to be 60-40.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Well, but
that's another myth.
I think the 50-50, that is a myth. But, what you do is I think each party needs to lean into their strengths and, most importantly, decide, am I prepared to die on this hill today?
Yes.
And once the two of you figure out which hills they're willing to die on, you're going to be much happier because, frankly, unless, and that's probably one of the problems we had. I mean, did we argue? We met in law school. That's the answer to that question. Holy shit. I mean, we'll argue over which cube of which sugar cube a fly's going to land on. I mean, we're talking, this is blood sport, folks. Arguments? Of course we argue.
Now, I want to draw attention to Judge Judy here, who was saying nothing. Do you follow the admonition, I see nothing, I hear nothing?
See no evil, hear no evil.
What's
Gene's
the secret
pretty
to
quiet over
You've
there.
been married to how long? How many years now?
Forever.
53, almost 54.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that people tuning in are wondering if they've got Dr. Phil or somebody else. I don't think they're tuning in to Roger and Friends to hear marriage advice.
Mostly bad marriage advice.
It was a big topic on Fox News this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I picked up on it because people were talking about
the Taylor Swift story came
exactly
out.
right. Yeah. And they've been
George
quiet
Clooney.
for a long time. Is he going to retire at the end of this year?
Of course, he's still actively playing this year.
Yeah.
He has hinted at retiring after this year.
He doesn't need
I
to
think he
play.
may. He's he's 36 now, and that's getting up there for a receiver. They
for
take a
the
lot of
NFL,
hits.
yeah.
That's getting old.
All right, switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
There was a study out of Sydney, Australia, new research that indicates as you get older, if you're not socially involved, if you're not doing something, the risk for dementia increases.
Well, yeah. If you don't
I
use
saw
that,
that
lose
sense. I saw that story, and actually, if you read carefully and even read between the lines a little bit, it's a correlation, meaning that it may be the opposite effect, that because you're deteriorating mentally, you are less likely to seek social interactions with other people. Those kinds of individuals just like to sit alone at home. But yeah, there may be a little bit of a cause and effect both ways.
Well, you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep your mind active and
Yeah, sure. People who read. I mean, there's even some studies that show that people who do Kudoku might stave off mental decline a little bit because you are, in a way, exercising.
Stimulating.
That term is more appropriate for muscles, but you are using your brains.
mind. Can you say muscle? Can you use that term for your? I mean, kind of theoretically, but not.
Yeah,
literally,
and
right?
it's really not like it's exercising, but you are using brain pathways.
You can produce more synapses, right?
Synapses, maybe more of the chemical mediators between the nerves. Yes,
we know that because we've hooked people up and we do things and they can see more brain activity and I don't think you get more gray matter, but you get more. I don't know, electricity going on or something.
You improve the synaptic connections through use.
Yeah, and it works better if you keep it busy, or if you just ramble like an idiot.
Like we do on this show. We're here.
What are we doing now?
There are, Roger, if we've got a few moments here, there are some prominent celebrities that have birthdays today.
Ooh.
Okay.
See if you can guess. One of them is a favorite actress of yours. Can you guess who I'm thinking of here?
Favorite of Roger.
Marissa Tomei has a birthday today.
Is she the one on
My Cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny.
Vinny,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've said that you think she's cute and is a good actress, and she is. How old would you guess?
Oh, she's 72.
No.
No,
wow.
younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought
I'd
she was.
say,
What do you want, Mike?
I'll give her 58.
Yeah, I was going to say 52.
Oh, you're going the wrong way, Roger. She is 61 today.
61.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys were kind of all over the.
That would have been my second guess.
Jeff Bridges, Jeff Bridges,
Oh, yeah.
son of Lloyd,
Yeah.
and brother of Bo
Bridges,
Bridges.
right.
But he's probably the more well-known actor. Jeff Bridges has a birthday today. How old is Jeff Bridges?
78.
Yeah, he'd be.
Terry?
Yeah, I would say up there. So he's pushing 80.
So, no, I don't think he's that old. I think he's more like 73.
Well, you are much closer on this one. He is 76, but nobody got it quite exactly. Do you know who Fred Armisen is?
I've heard the name.
Well, he's an actor and he's a comedian.
We
He's
saw his
been on
picture,
Saturday
maybe,
Night
but-
Live for many years.
What was he in? Comedic actor?
He was in a TV show called Portlandia, I think.
Oh,
Remember that one?
okay, yeah.
I don't.
I don't know. I mean, but I do remember him from Saturday Night Live. He was a cast member for a number of years. Did impressions of Barack Obama.
Black guy?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, neither was Barack.
Well,
Wait a minute.
You said that like you know him.
Wow.
Not as Barack, Uncle Barack.
all right, just take a guess, even if you don't know him.
58.
Exactly right. He is.
Boom.
No, I'm
I don't
sorry.
even know who it is.
He's 59. He's
Oh, okay.
58 yesterday.
Well, that's
Okay. Yeah,
close
yesterday.
enough.
That's when I knew.
All right, so what about Jelly Roll? Now, you probably do know Jelly Roll, except maybe
He just lost a ton of weight and shaved his beard.
he looks good. He
Looks
looks really
totally
good.
different.
Well, he still has a facial tattoo.
Well, yeah,
so,
the face
you know,
tattoos.
Do you know who
they're-
Jelly Roll is? He's a Grammy Award-winning country music
I know.
guy.
I know. I love eating one, but
No, you know Jelly Roll. You've
no, I
probably-
don't. I do. I'm
No?
telling you, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Who is he? Is he music?
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
Musician,
Big
singer.
name. Big name.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, big name. He's I think he was
So
Artist of the
prison.
Year
So what's your guess?
this year.
Age 60,
I'll say 35.
47.
Are you going to guess or
51.
he's 41?
No,
Oh, I meant to say 41.
Closer. I think
35, yeah.
35. Yeah, he's only 41. I would have guessed a little bit older myself. Jay-Z, you know who Jay-Z? Married to Beyonce.
Yeah.
He was a rap artist. Now he's much more of a producer, record
entrepreneur type, yeah.
entrepreneur mogul.
Have no idea.
He's 60.
I'll take 62.
I'll take 63.
260. You're a little bit closer. He's 56.
56.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
56.
Just a sprat.
Tyra Banks, does that name ring a
Oh,
bell?
yeah.
Supermodel.
Yeah. Bad temper.
I think she was host of
She was.
America's Got Talent for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think
and even Dancing with the Stars for a while, I think, yeah.
18.
no, she's up there. She
Have
was
no idea who
she
she
was
is.
a supermodel in the 80s, I think.
Maybe not quite that long ago.
Okay, 90s.
You say she's 90?
No. I think she's about
Maybe late 90s.
maybe 55.
All right, that's close.
57.
That's not as close.
Okay. Went the wrong way, Terry.
52.
52, I'm sorry, 52.
there you go.
I'm looking at
Good,
yesterday's
yeah.
ages here, so today is 52.
Yeah, she's been sued several times for abusing her, personal assistants, throwing phones at them,
really?
and yeah.
You're talking
yeah.
about Kamala
She's got
Harris.
a terrible temper.
I thought you were talking about Kamala Harris. She's the one who's been berating
Well,
her back.
the rest of them are pretty obscure, so I'll
Okay.
stop there.
All right. I have a question for you. There's a survey out. If you want to live to be super age, older person, there are 7 things that you should have. And what would be number 1? What's the number 1?
So it's not behavioral things?
A radio show.
Yes, yes. Well, you're close. You're close.
A hobby.
The number 1 is attitude.
Oh,
You need to have a positive attitude.
I was going to say, I've got attitude,
And-
but most of it's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, well, that's right. Having a positive attitude is the number 1 aspect of super aging, according to authors
I see
of a book. Number 2, awareness. There's constantly new research emerging on how to live a longer life, which is why awareness
What do you
is
have
the
to
key
be aware of?
for
How to
longevity.
live a long life.
Yes, exactly. Studies on benefits of reducing the amount of time spent sitting or changing an aspect of your diet is all part of
sitting
awareness.
sitting's the new smoking, right? Is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Activity, stay busy.
absolutely.
In addition to proper nutrition, staying active with daily exercise is a proven way to expand your lifespan. And what's the next one? Achievement after retirement.
Achievement. What do you mean?
It's crucial to continue setting and striving for new goals.
Oh.
Well, my
Whether it
current-
pertains to your profession or
current-
not.
My current new goal is just well,
wake
make
up.
it to the bathroom less than 3 times
Yeah,
a night.
it says whether it's going to the bathroom 3 times, you try to get it down to 2.
Okay.
But
That's a great
no,
goal.
whether it's volunteering, going back to school, learning something new, or a side hustle, you need purpose.
True.
Yeah.
I have a breaking news item here, Roger.
Okay, let me do the flash real quick. Attachments. Attachments to important people in your life, partners, family, and friends will also continue to keep you young. Autonomy. Maintaining autonomy can help ensure physical and financial independence as people age. Doing things for yourself can help you live longer and offer a greater sense of control over your life. And the last one, avoidance. Stay away from people who belong to the Democrat Party. No, I made that up. Seniors can face many obstacles as they age, including ageism, and listen to this, online scammers. The author encourages seniors to be aware of where information is coming from online and who's offering you what. And the most critical component of super aging is having and living a fulfilling life. And now you know the rest of the story. You have breaking news?
Yes, this just broke about 26 minutes ago. It was 25, but Roger put me off a few moments ago.
I'm sorry about that.
The FBI has arrested a man for the pipe bombing incident at the Republican and Democrat National Committee headquarters in Washington, D.C.
And it's Tim Waltz.
On the night of the 2021 U.S. Capitol riots back in January of 2021. No further report of exactly who, but the arrest follows a 5-year investigation.
That's a long time
A nearly 5-year investigation to uncover the identity. They've had these videos and still shots from surveillance of this person. He wears a hoodie and kind of halfway covers his face, or he or her. There have been some suggestions it's a woman. That left these bombs behind. Now, they didn't go off and didn't do any harm or damage, but there have even been many conspiracy theories. You probably read that maybe it was the FBI themselves behind this, because we know a lot of
things
funky
that went
things
on
were going on.
January 6th, a lot of funky things were going on
we
in
knew
the
FBI
had
some
in that crowd.
Conspicuously suspicious characters working for them back then. Some of them.
Takes a while to find the bomber, doesn't it? It took them how long to find the Unabomber? It took them
decades.
several years.
Well, decades, actually.
Decades?
Yeah, I think it was a couple decades.
Wow.
The open investigation on him.
I think it was.
Yeah.
So there you go. No word exactly who. This is just being reported as a sort of a leak, according to law enforcement sources within the FBI, that this came down sometime late last night.
All right. Well, that was a late-breaking story. I still think the 7 things of growing older was more important, but I made
You're probably right there.
Nonetheless, we don't want anything to pass by without us bringing it to our loyal listeners.
We are on it.
On top of it.
We are on top.
Did we finally settle the fact that couples do argue on occasion?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the question is how, what's the word occasion mean? Once a month, once a year?
I think
not going there.
probably a wide variation.
But
It's kind of like a sliding scale. The ones that are higher on the scale have a shorter marriage.
Yes,
I think you're
indeed.
probably
And the ones
right.
that are farther apart.
There were times when I would get depressed about certain things in life, and then I would watch Judge Judy and realize, you know what, I'm a little higher on that social ladder than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I to this day, I wonder why people expose who they are and how dumb they are by going on national television. They do pay them,
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
they get
At
paid.
least scale.
These are people who had claims in small court. And were approached by the producers of that show, given money to move their cases out of small claims court
claims, right.
to the Judge Judy show. And that's really how all those legal judge shows on TV work. But they do agree to abide by the judgment, even though it's now by a person who's not an official real judge.
I thought Judge Judy was.
She was.
She was retired,
But she's acting in a non-judicial capacity, I think,
It's
on
not
that
legally
TV show.
binding, but they agree that
Yeah.
they'll
Right.
they'll
They
be
have
bound
signed
by it.
a contract to make it
That they
legally
would
binding,
agree,
but it's
yeah.
not.
But she does seem
by
to have some
law.
authority, because she said
Yeah.
that I'm going to refer you to such and such a court. Then you get a ruling, then you come back
Well,
here.
don't judges officially stay judges though, even like for the rest of their life?
They get paid the rest of their life.
They can
better.
go. Yeah, they can go into a judge emeritus. Emeritus.
Emeritus.
Jim Shadid, when he
Emeritus is
was
what
named Bradley.
happens to your knee.
Your
joint.
knees.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's part of the arthritis.
Yeah.
But you know,
Hard to bend them.
the thing that confuses me though is like when you talk about these people that go on TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
What in what dimension or world or era did the phrase "we're going on Maury's" ever sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Well, if you
Oh,
watch
that
the
was
show,
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who was the clown?
teeth to tattoo
in
ratio.
Cincinnati?
Jerry Springer.
That
Yeah,
Jerry
Jerry
Springer
Springer,
had to be one of
Those
those
were scripted.
obnoxious-
Those
Yeah,
were
those
scripted.
were-
I
That
was
was
absolutely
obnoxious.
convinced. Yeah.
It's pretty obnoxious.
They all ended up with fist
But very
fights.
successful.
Nobody got hurt, right?
Well,
or hair pulling, if it was women. It was hair pulling.
Yeah.
It was very successful. They
What do you
made a lot of
think
money. They had a lot of viewers. And
Well, he was
actually,
mayor of
I-
Cincinnati at one time.
Yes,
if
he
I
was.
remember
Yes,
right.
he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my God.
And there was even rumors he was going to run for president at one point. A
Well,
number of years
considering
ago.
some of the candidates we've had over the
Yeah,
last
why
20
not?
years.
Would have fit.
The thing that bothered me is when I would make nursing home rounds on patients, the thing that bothered me was here were these old folks in the twilight of their life, the last months or years of their life, and they were laying in their room, and the nursing assistants would have Jerry Springer on.
Yeah.
And these people were being forced to watch it.
Like I need this aggravation.
And then they wonder why the
God.
people don't follow constructions.
Why the people wanted to die.
Or wanted to fight.
This patient has persistent high blood pressure, and I can't imagine why. They're watching Jerry 24/7.
Oh, jeez.
It does. Well, let's see. I think it's time to report the news on Breakfast with Roger and Friends on this nippy cold Thursday morning, and we're going to have a little of Terry's chocolate.
Should I crack one open? Or
Yes, crack
you
one
wanna
open.
give it a crack, Roger?
Give it. I want to watch you do it.
It's a
On your mark, get ready. Get
Well, you just hit it hard on a flat surface.
and that's all it took.
And that should
Another
crack it
Terry's
hard into the
chocolate.
segment.
And you just knocked us off the air.
Just ruined the transmitter.
There you go.
You got
Is that a dark chocolate one?
That's the milk chocolate
Oh,
one.
milk
I
chocolate. Okay, great.
actually
Hey, you did
decided
good.
I prefer this one over the dark
Yeah,
chocolate.
let's let me show this to our listeners on YouTube.
Viewers, listeners?
Here, hold this up instead. Like this.
Well, I want them to see how it's split out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bunch of little orange-like
Yeah.
segments.
And but did you bring your insulin kit for it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. I've got a new sensor on. I'm down at 116, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Stay tuned, more coming your way. everybody. You're having breakfast with Roger and Friends on WAZU FM 90.7 and also on YouTube on this beautiful but very cold Thursday morning, the 4th of December. Boy, Christmas just around the corner. Let's get into the weather, brought to you by your hometown community banks division, the Morton Community Bank. Convenient and friendly hometown locations throughout central Illinois. Look for the clock tower and you'll know they have time for you. Member FDIC.
Sunny and very cold today, Roger. High only 15. Wind chill values make it seem like it's about 8 below outside. Tonight's low 1 below, and that's a regular temp. That's not a wind chill temp. Tomorrow sunny and breezy, warmer with a high near 30. That'll seem a little warm. Tomorrow night cloudy and 21 for the overnight low. Saturday cloudy, high 31. I thought we were going to have a few days in the single digits and teens, so I'm kind of happy to read this. Snow possible on Saturday night, low 18. Sunday, it'd be a nice day, partly sunny and high 25. Right now, it's around 10. Depending on what your car says with those car deals, anybody's car is going to say probably anywhere from 10 to 15.
Well, but that's not official. We have an obligation to be official.
Well,
the official temperature.
But it depends on where you are. Where are you listening from?
If it's
but
Nome, Alaska.
It's around 10. Well, even anywhere in Peoria. I mean, my house is warmer than out by your house.
Could be.
You're probably colder.
Hey, yeah, it's
according to our
what's the crawl say?
6.
6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, up in Chicago, it's always colder or warmer by the lake, depending on what season it is.
Yeah, that's true. East Peoria is always
6.5.
6.5. Wow, AccuCheck's get exact.
What do you have? 7.
AccuCheck says 7.
Yeah. AccuWeather. See, it just depends on where their thermometer is.
Well, once you get
you got to give a temperature. We don't say.
I gave one. I said about 10.
Well, you were wrong.
Well,
where did you get that 10?
I guess.
You just okay. There went our credibility ranking. I guess.
I'll be
Are
honest.
we being sponsored by a new HVAC company called Colder and Nell?
Colder and Nell. This Christmas, make your memories movie magic. It Plays Media Group offering holiday photo sessions with fun digital backdrops. That includes cozy fireplaces or maybe snowy winterlands. A lot of flexibility available. You can choose from affordable packages that fit every family and even add a short video clip perfect for your holiday social media platform. You can get more details from the folks. Chris is available. We're talking about Chris Buckley at 309-306-2152. And now the news with Mike Dentino and Terry Grawey.
Well, thank you, Roger.
You're welcome.
One of the country's most controversial liberal judges, James Browsberg, made a small but unusual decision yesterday. He ordered refunds for 2 Republicans who were found guilty of participating in the January 6th demonstrations at Capitol Hill in 2021. President Donald Trump issued pardons for Cynthia Ballinger and Christopher Price. The married couple had been tried and convicted on misdemeanor charges and ordered to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and restitution.
After their pardons, they requested a refund of those costs, but Judge Boasberg denied the request. The judge said he changed his decision because of an appeals court ruling. Trump pardoned more than 1,500 Republicans the Democrats prosecuted and sent to jail.
More good economic news from President Trump. Yesterday, the president announced a reset of federal fuel standards that were increased under the Biden administration. The White House claims the decision will save $109 billion in total for American families. Trump said regulations in the car industry caused car prices to increase by more than 25%.
The announcement was welcomed by some of the country's leading automakers, such as Ford Motor Company. Their CEO, Jim Farley, said, "This is a win for customers and common sense." Apparently, Wall Street agreed. The Dow jumped more than 400 points. It ended at 47,882. The Nasdaq 23,454. S&P was up to 6,849, and Caterpillar had a $9 increase. They ended the day at $591.49 a share.
The Vaccine Advisory Committee of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is meeting today and tomorrow, and some medical sources are predicting a change in the schedule of childhood immunizations. There are indications that the universal hepatitis B vaccine dose given shortly after birth will be an issue. ABC News is claiming the vaccine has virtually eliminated the virus among children.
University of Delaware student has been arrested with a car full of guns, body armor, and plans to carry out a mass shooting on the school's campus. Police identified the man as 25-year-old Pakistani immigrant Laquan Kwan. Notes found including targeting the school's police department on his hit list. One of the weapons was a handgun that could be quickly adjusted to become a rifle.
In the world of music, Steve Cropper, songwriter and guitarist, has died at the age of 84. Known as the anchor for Booker T and the MGs, Cropper co-wrote Green Onions and Sitting on the Dock of a Bay.
Of the two, what was your favorite?
Dock of the Bay.
Dock of the Bay?
Yeah.
That'd be
what
hard,
was your
be hard to choose, but I'd say Green Onions.
You like Green Onions?
Yep, I like Green Onions. The cause of death in this case was not revealed, however.
East Peoria officials are warning residents of a breach of the city's alert system. Cyber criminals may have been able to access personal information from the city's program for emergencies. The notification comes from Crisis 24. That's the risk management group that's handling the communication system.
Don't forget the 4th annual Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront Museum begins tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. It also continues Saturday from 12 noon to 8 p.m. The event features local food trucks and vendors, hot chocolate, horse-drawn carriage rides, laser holiday magic, carolers, live animals, ballerinas, and holiday movies in the giant screen theater. There is an admission charge.
Here's a little Christmas ditty.
Yeah. We used to carol to that.
You had some like beatnik carol.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's Green Onions.
I did.
I thought it was a Christmas melody.
Like Santa's coming to town.
This song it starts out like it doesn't know what to do next.
Well, see, this is
I
the
get that,
this is the beatnik version of Santa's coming to town.
You know, there were a couple of jazz hits that actually rose high on the Billboard U.S. Top 100 back in the 60s, like Dave Brubeck.
Dave Brubeck.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they were similar in the sense that they kind of never really reached a peak.
Yeah, that's what this song
kinda had a
sounds like.
crescendo. It was just all the way through this nice, relaxing jazz kind of sound.
This music makes me a little irritated after 30
You know,
seconds.
generations X, Y, Z, they don't go for this stuff. You won't see these kind of songs on the charts anymore.
Yeah.
But they're kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it would sound neat with WCBU.
Fits well.
Yeah, that's a really
In the WCBU newsroom, I'm June Delahunty. East Peoria is keeping its property tax levy steady, representing a slight drop in the tax rate for the next fiscal year. The City Council unanimously approved holding the estimated amount collected at $5.9 million. Mayor John Call says residents still will see their total property taxes increase, as East Peoria is just one of 10 taxing bodies in the community, and the city's portion is just a fraction of what people pay.
It literally represents 11.5%. I'll say it again, 11.5% of your overall property tax bill. That's it.
Commissioner Mark Hill says the majority of the city's revenue comes from sources other than property taxes. Some Bradley University students pursuing careers in the legal field have a new path to law school through a partnership with DePaul University. The two institutions have announced a direct admission agreement that gives qualifying Bradley seniors and recent graduates guaranteed acceptance to DePaul's College of Law in Chicago, along with scholarship support. Up to 5 qualifying students will receive a minimum annual scholarship of more than $13,000. All undergraduate majors can apply. Democratic Congressman Eric Sorensen says a recent vote denouncing socialism was a Republican ploy to generate attack ads for Democrats. Sorensen was one of nearly 90 House Democrats who voted for the measure.
I am a fighter for Medicare and for Medicaid. I'm a supporter of our police and our fire and making sure that our roads are taken care of, that our schools are funded, and that Social Security remains essential for people.
Sorensen said his record speaks for itself. Some Ameren customers in central and southern Illinois will receive a credit on upcoming power bills. The credit comes from a $38 million settlement between the state and Dynegy Corporation. The decade of investigation and litigation that led to the settlement stems from an electricity capacity auction conducted by the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, or MESO. That resulted in an electricity capacity price 40 times higher than all other zones and nearly 9 times higher than the prior year price. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul says Dynegy manipulated the market to overcharge electric customers. I'm June Delahunty.
Hey, I'm going to play after we have sports, brought to you by BradleyFans.com. Eric Sorensen sounds a lot like that comedian Hal Roach. I'm going to play a little of that. And keep in mind the voice of Eric Sorensen.
Okay.
But first, with the irritating music in the background, here's Dr. Gene Sidler.
I'm going to tell Booker T you called his song irritating. Anyway, we'll start first with the NFL news. Thursday Night Football tonight. Big game matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. And a lot of playoff implications on the line. Cowboys 6-5-1, Detroit Lions 7-5. And both of those teams are outside the playoff picture right now in the NFC if the season were to end today. So they need to do some work to get back into the top 7. The teams that make the playoffs, just the top 7 teams in each conference. So this game crucial for both teams, and should be an interesting game. Detroit's a 3-point favorite. The Chicago Bears, they're the top team in the NFC with a 9-3 record. Still not guaranteed a playoff spot. They could still lose their last 5 games and fall out of it, but it looks pretty good for the Bears. They play the Green Bay Packers on Sunday in a 3:25 p.m. game. Packers are 8-3-1, and they are right behind the Bears in the standings, and they are 7-point favorites in Sunday's game up in Green Bay. College football, big weekend too for college football teams, is the conference championship weekend, and a lot of people focusing on the Big Ten because it features the only 2 remaining undefeated teams, number 1 ranked Ohio State and number 2 Indiana. That game is in Indianapolis Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Ohio State's a 4.5-point favorite. Other major conference championships on Saturday, BYU versus Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship, Georgia versus Alabama for the SEC championship, and Duke versus Virginia for the ACC championship. Notre Dame, they're 10-2 and ranked number 10. They're already lined up to play Texas A&M in the first round of the college football playoffs that start in another week. And Illinois is 8-4. They're outside the college football playoffs, but they have a good enough record. They'll get a decent bowl assignment. We don't know where they'll go yet. Some people are speculating the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa.
The what?
ReliaQuest.
What the heck is
it's
that?
An insurance company. I'm not
No, it's a drug.
It's a real estate company.
ReliaQuest.
It's a drug. You take ReliaQuest to rely on.
That's Relaxium.
Maybe that's one of your drugs, but no, it's not a drug. It's not a drug, Terry. It's not a new drug. It's a financial company.
ReliaQuest to feel better in the morning.
But anyway, that's a December 31st bowl, but it hasn't been decided yet. So we'll see, but they should get a nice warm weather bowl. In the NBA last night, the Bulls lost to the New Jersey Nets, 113-103. They've dropped 5 in a row. Now they're 9-12 after winning 6 of their first 7. Bradley women lost at Nebraska last night in a close game, 92-53.
Oh, I think that was a little sarcasm.
That was slightly sarcasm. Yeah, they just kind of fell apart. The women are better this year, but they were playing a Big Ten team and the Nebraska team.
Yeah. Well, their coach was real pregnant, right, and having a baby.
Now, the women's coach was pregnant, and they did not make the trip. She and her husband.
What do you mean real pregnant?
Well, real
If
pregnant.
you're pregnant or you're not pregnant.
Well, I don't know.
What does that mean, real? What do you
9
what do you
months,
mean
you're
by-
real
I
pregnant.
think he's meaning about ready to pop.
Yeah, ready to.
Which she did this week, so congratulations.
What'd she have?
She had a
A
little girl.
And named her.
I don't know the name of the girl. I'll show you.
Terry's always a good name. You can
Terry,
spell it with
maybe,
an I.
maybe it'll be Terry.
Yeah.
I'll find out. Anyway, Bradley men are 5-4 after their come from behind victory on Tuesday night, 64-60 over Washington State. They'll play Northern Illinois University Saturday night at 7 p.m. at good old Carver Arena.
I wonder if Kyle's going to be there. He's a graduate of Northern Illinois, so I wonder if he said I'll be rooting for him, but I'm normally a Bradley fan.
Well, we'll look for him and see if he's there.
Well, you look for him.
I will. And that's all the sports we got.
All
for
right.
today.
Now, I mentioned Eric Sorensen was on WCBU for the third day in a row, so they'll be happy at Democrat headquarters over there at ISU. But listen to Hal Roach and see if Eric sounds a little like Hal Roach.
Murphy worked for a big organisation, by the way, in Ireland, and they were having a fancy dress evening, but it was for the employees only. They didn't want relatives or wives or anybody there, just the employees. And Murphy said to his wife, I'm going to the fancy dress tonight, and she said, I'd love to come with you. But he said, you can't, it's for employees only. Oh, but she said, take me. He said, I can't now, that's it. I have to go on my own. Now she said, what are you going as? And he said, I'm going as Mickey Mouse. Now he said, I won't be late, I'll see you later, all the best. And he said, I have to pick up my costume in the shop, the store down the street, but I won't be late, I'll see you later. So he went out, and when he was gone, she had a bit of suspicion about him. I don't know why. So she's decided, I'm going as well. So she went down to the shop. Now he went as Mickey Mouse. What do you think she went as? Minnie Mouse. A prize for that man here. Fantastic, Minnie Mouse. So there she was, by the way, and suddenly this figure came over to her. He came over to her, and he started to get very friendly with her. And they were dancing and kissing and cuddling and all the rest of it. And she thought, I wonder how he's going to explain this. So anyway, they eventually went out into the garden, and they were dancing and kissing and cuddling in the garden, and God only knows what they got up to in the garden, if you follow my train of thought. Are you with me? God help us, we leave it at that, we'll use our imagination. Anyway, then she ran home and got changed and waited for him to come in. She said, I've got him now. Let him try and explain that one. So he came in about 3 o'clock in the morning, and she said to him, well, how did you get on at the fancy dress? So he said, I had a miserable time. A miserable time, he said. I went to collect my costume as Mickey Mouse in the shop, and they didn't have one. So I went as Donald Duck. Oh, dear God.
Don't you think she sounds like Eric Sorensen?
Yeah.
There's a lot of similar. That was very dangerous on my part, because I did not preview that. I didn't know where he was going. But it had a happy ending.
Yes.
He went as Donald Duck.
Yes.
All right, here's our question on this day in history.
That's getting thin, isn't it? We're
Yes,
about
it
out
is.
Of, we're about out of.
No, but he's already got me. The Dr. Sidler, you brought me to 2026, this day in history. December 4th, 1867, someone organized a organization. Who was it? What was the organization?
It was the Boy Scouts.
No.
1867.
1867.
Girl Scouts.
No. And here's my clue. It had to do with a group of people, workers, who had never been organized before.
Oh, it's the ACLU.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Or the Teamsters, or the UAW?
No. And I will help you out. Here's another clue.
Is it a union?
It was a type of union, yeah.
Okay.
But it involved people, you might say, the salt of the earth.
Oh, so it had to do with farmers?
Yes,
So First Grange?
that is correct.
What?
But
The Grange.
who was the founder? That is the question.
Mr. Grange?
He
La grain?
Yeah, no, it was red.
Red grain. Oh,
That's
of course
right.
it was.
That was very good. He was a farmer, and his first name started with the letter O.
Oscar?
Maybe one of the famous poets or
one of the-
poetry.
Orville?
One of the Henrys?
Oliver?
Oliver is correct. And the last name of great Irish name that you should know. And
Callahan.
It wasn't, close.
O'Reilly.
Close.
Jeez.
O'Leary.
Close. Starts with the letter K. That will help.
Kerry?
Close.
Kerrigan.
Close.
Callahan?
What's already been?
Okay.
Kelly?
Kelly is
Kelly.
correct.
Oh, okay.
Oliver Kelly.
Should have thought.
He was a former Minnesota farmer, but guess where he grew up? And it wasn't in the Midwest. In 1867, well, I don't know what year it was.
Pennsylvania.
No, the city, one of my favorite eastern cities. Found the people there to be very cordial, unlike New York City.
Boston.
Boston is correct.
Boston.
He decided in his early 20s that he wanted to become a farmer. In 1849, he moved to a state I wouldn't be moving to today.
California.
The last
No,
in
it's
the
got to be a
Midwest.
liberal one, yeah.
Minnesota?
Minnesota's
There.
right, Minnesota. Kelly shrewdly saw that the future of the region was in agriculture, and he proved to be a skilled and progressive farmer. While on a tour of southern farms in 1866, Kelly was struck by the warm reception he received from his fellow. He was also a member of an organization. What would it might have been?
Shriners.
Close to it. Close to it. Very close. Usually you're in that organization before you become a Shriner. Freemasons.
Masons,
okay.
yes. That's what I was
Okay.
trying to think of.
In the South, despite the otherwise pervasive dislike of Northerners left over from the
Reconstruction.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Determined to develop a national organization to unify farmers, he went to Washington and gathered a group of like-minded friends. In 1867, these men became the founders of the National Grange of the Order of the Patrons of Husbandry. What is the word husbandry? Can you define that?
Well, yeah, that's where you
You
make
grow men?
no, you make kids.
Okay.
That's a kid making deal, right? That's what they.
I don't know.
Animal husbandry
No, it
is
has
the.
to- yeah, it has to do with raising animals.
Right.
Well, but it's making new animals.
But it was the
Right?
forerunner of the
Yes,
name
it is.
of
careful.
Care,
Right.
cultivation,
Well, I'm
and
trying to
management
say it
of domestic
nicely.
animals, crops, or other resources.
Husbandry is being a husband, and it's making children.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
It involves raising things.
yes.
I'm reading the definition here, and it says nothing about being a husband. It's the care,
You know, Terry,
cultivation, and
sometimes
management
I
of
think you
domestic
drink.
animals, crops, or
or should.
Now, the term husband for husband and wife comes from the same
Yeah.
root words, yes.
Yes. It's.
Well, you don't have to get huffy about it.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my.
Well,
Well,
that's
that
of course you can take at ISU. I think animal husbandry is you can get a degree in that. I
that's
guess.
the raising of animals.
Yeah, making new ones, making new little animals. Is all part of
All
raising
right,
it. Can't raise
I
them
have
if
a
you don't
couple
have
other.
them.
I have a couple other questions before we get
Let's hope we
into
do better on these.
the news. What
Yeah.
singer? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
What singer chose chicken from the NBC cafeteria over his own brand of fast food in Conan O'Brien's blind TV taste test? I don't remember any of that. Maybe you do.
I have no
But who was
idea.
the singer?
The singer had his own food?
Apparently.
Oh, Kenny Rogers.
That is correct.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah,
How
there
did you
you go.
remember that?
Well, I
He-
just thought
he
it-
had chicken.
yeah,
He-
yeah.
he was a
Didn't
chicken
we
guy.
have a Kenny Rogers
Yeah.
chicken in Peoria
Yeah.
at one time?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I win.
Yes. What Asian capital was buzzed to, host the first Starbucks outside the United States?
Hong Kong.
Close.
Singapore.
Close again.
I don't know my geography.
Tokyo.
Tokyo is correct.
Ah,
What movie did Ewan McGregor get in character for by shaving his head and shedding 30 pounds? And it was not Mike Dentino.
Was it Ewan McGregor?
don't have to lose 30 pounds for that. Train
Star
spotting?
Wars.
He wasn't in Star Wars.
What was the name? What'd you say?
Train spotting?
That is correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Never heard of that.
Never heard
It
of
was
that?
a movie?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
No, it's about
Train
heroin
spotting.
addicts.
Ewan McGregor was in Star Wars.
Yeah.
He played
was?
Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequel
Oh,
trilogy.
right.
Okay. I've never seen Star Wars. I don't.
I haven't either.
What?
No, I don't like sci-fi.
I
don't
quit
get
after
it.
the first one.
Avatar, 10-foot
Before
tall
the news,
people
before
with
the
blue
news,
tails. I
one
don't get it.
final, and this is a Christmas question. What Sesame Street toy giggled its way to the top
Tickle
of
Me Elmo.
Christmas?
Me Elmo, yeah.
Thank
Well, at
goodness
least
my
let
kids
me
were
have
not
the
ever-
question out. Gee. All right.
Yeah, that was.
What revealing Demi Moore movie won Razzies for Worst Picture?
Striptease.
What?
Striptease.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys, I gotta get a
Yeah.
harder question.
And that wasn't a bad show. Well, some scenes.
Well,
The plot.
She was naked.
Was there a plot?
Was there a plot?
No, not really.
I was going to say, I just thought it was,
It was-
a video from Big Al.
It was in the title.
all right. One final question. You won't get this one. I'll see to that. What Hollywooder? Is there such a word?
Yeah.
What Hollywooder
I guess you
Hollywood
paid $772,500 at auction for his wife's uncle's McGregor Woods golf clubs?
His wife's uncle.
It had to be.
See, I knew you
It
wouldn't
had
get
to be
it.
the daughter of a famous golfer.
Golfer, right.
Well, it was a guy. It was a guy.
I mean, but she was then married to an actor who paid this.
Yes, that's correct.
So, now who was the actor? The daughter or the?
The husband.
The guy that paid.
Right.
The guy that paid.
$772,500.
He was the actor.
And he was married to a golfer?
The golfer's daughter. Who was probably deceased by that time, I guess.
Yeah.
They're
Why
selling
else
his
would he
clubs.
Oh,
buy
Yeah.
a club?
He's still alive, and he had, and this clue will give it to you. He had political aspirations.
Like, the golfer had political aspirations?
No, he's a Hollywood actor.
Oh, the actor.
Arnold?
Yes,
Schwarzenegger?
yeah, that is correct.
Okay, yes.
Well, you guys
Okay.
are really. Do you remember that? No.
I do remember this story. He was previously married to Maria Shriver,
Oh,
Correct.
that's right.
That's
That's right.
whose father was
Wally.
Sergeant
John
Shriver?
F. Kennedy.
Wally Shriver.
Oh. Right.
Not. Oh shoot! It was the niece of John F. Kennedy.
Right.
Yes.
And it was John F. Kennedy's golf clubs that he bid on, not his wife's father's.
Well, I just write.
His
I
wife's
just read the
father.
question.
I would have.
I'm
to-
having so
I
much
could be
fun
wrong.
with this. One more question. I just
Okay,
like
all
to
right,
give
that's
up
right,
on
keep
this.
going, yeah.
What 66-year-old warbler, I don't think he was, but that's what he calls this guy, was laid to rest with a ukulele and 6 mauve silk tulips?
Oh, yeah, that was Tiny Tim.
Tiny
Yeah.
Tim, that's very good. I'm amazed you guys are
Also known as Tim Curry.
Tim Corey, I believe
Yeah.
was his
That
real
was
name.
his
Yeah.
real name.
Yeah.
I remember he married Miss Vicky on the
Miss
Johnny
Vicky,
Carson
yep.
show.
And you know he came to the Heart of Illinois Fair,
No, I didn't know
and he did. And guess who interviewed him on WRL?
Roger Monroe?
Steve Young.
Oh, really?
Ah.
And he told the story about the interview, if my memory serves me right. All right, we're a little late, but never too late for the news. I'm really impressed with you three. You're pretty impressive people. Check with the news with Mike Dentino, brought to you by Certified Public Accountant and Tax Specialist Matt Wall. He's with Gordon Stockman and Wall. He's a CP, as we say, over 40 years of financial experience. He helps individuals and businesses, large and small. You can reach Matt at 309-692-4030. With the news, here's Michael.
Thank you, Roger. One of the country's most controversial judges, James Boasberg, made a small but unusual decision yesterday. He ordered the refunds for 2 Republicans who were found guilty of participating in the January 6th demonstrations at Capitol Hill in 2021. President Donald Trump issued pardons for Cynthia Ballinger and Christopher Price. The married couple had been tried and convicted on misdemeanor charges and ordered to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and restitution. After their pardons, they requested a refund of those costs, but Judge Boasberg denied their request. The judge said he changed his decision because of an appeals court ruling. Trump pardoned more than 1,500 Republicans that Democrat prosecutors had sent to jail. More good economic news from President Trump. Yesterday, the president announced a reset of federal fuel standards that were increased under the Biden administration. The White House claims the decision will save $109 billion in total for American families. Trump said regulations in the car industry caused car prices to increase by more than 25%. The announcement was welcomed by some of the country's leading auto leaders, such as Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley, who said, "This is a win for customers and common sense." Apparently, Wall Street agreed. The Dow jumped by more than 400 points, ending at 47,882. The Nasdaq reached 23,454, and the S&P totaled 6,849. The Nasdaq reached 23,454, and I lost my place here. The Nasdaq reached 23,454. The S&P 6,849, and Caterpillar had a $9 increase, ending the day at $591.49 per share. The Vaccine Advisory Committee of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is meeting today and tomorrow, and some medical sources are predicting a change in the schedule of childhood immunizations. There are indications that the universal hepatitis B vaccine dose given shortly after birth will be at issue. A University of Delaware student has been arrested with a car full of guns, body armor, and plans to carry out a mass shooting on the school's campus. Police identified the man as 25-year-old Pakistani immigrant Lokoma Khan. In the world of music, Steve Cropper, songwriter and guitarist, has died at the age of 84. Known as the anchor for Booker T and the MGs, Cropper co-wrote Green Onion and Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. Cause of death was not revealed. East Peoria officials are warning residents of a breach of the city's alert system. Cyber criminals may have been able to access personal information from the city's program for emergencies. Notification comes from Crisis 24, the risk management group handling the communications system. Don't forget the 4th annual Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront Museum. It begins tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. It also continues Saturday from 12 to 8 p.m. The event features local food trucks and vendors, hot chocolate, horse-drawn carriage rides, laser holiday magic, carolers, live animals, ballerinas, and holiday movies in the giant screen theater. There is an admission charge. And Roger, that's it for news at the bottom of the hour.
You know, we learned early that hard work produces results, and that's why Realtor Kathy Reynolds is so successful. She works hard, very hard, to get results for her clients seeking to sell and possibly buy their next home. Learn more from Kathy Reynolds, a brilliant real estate. She's available as we speak at 309-696-2162. That number again, 696-2162.
Roger, it's going to be sunny and very cold today. High only about 15. Wind chill values could reach about 8 below. Tonight's low without the wind chill is going to be 1 below. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, warmer with a high near 30. Tomorrow night, cloudy, 21 for the overnight low. Saturday, cloudy, 31, maybe some snow, maybe low 18. Sunday, be a nice day, partly sunny, high 25. Right now, currently, it's about 6 degrees at the wazoo.
And you mentioned snow.
No, not today.
No, I know, but you did mention
I
there's
did
a
mention
chance.
the word snow.
And what,
I did
what,
say that.
what day, what night we talking about?
Possibly Saturday night.
Saturday night. So, Mannheim Steamroller, let us know, let us know. Well, you know, we've been talking about the weather and snow and so forth, but also in the news, hepatitis B, the vaccine. I know you're not, and we're not, a pediatrician, but I'm sure you treated children at one time or
kids.
another.
You had children.
And I had a couple kids.
Yeah. What do you think
Husbandry.
about the controversy about children's vaccine, but particularly newborn? We shoot them up with a lot of vaccines, don't we?
Yes, we do. And Robert F. Kennedy, the Human Health and Human Services Secretary, has raised issue with the number of vaccines that children get and the possibility that maybe they could be causing side effects that we aren't aware of.
Like autism.
Well, he has not said that specifically, but he has mentioned that we really haven't done satisfactory studies. Now, each of these vaccines themselves have been studied, not long term, not 5-10 years and longer, after they're given, but they appear to be pretty safe. The concern that he has, and the concern that many doctors have, is that giving such an enormous number of vaccines in the first couple of years of life, I have forgotten the total number, but there's 25 or 30 that we give in just the first 2 years of life, and then by the time they reach school age, they've received 76 vaccines.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And sometimes it's five or six at a time, right?
Yes. 3 of them, like measles, mumps, rubella, all come as the same vaccine. It's an MMR vaccine, and then that's given at the same time as you give polio and perhaps COVID and
diphtheria
and other.
That's a lot of stuff going into a small child.
What's that?
That's a lot of stuff. A lot of chemicals going into a small.
It's a lot of stress to the immune system, and it is theorized by some that maybe that can cause alterations of our immune system later on down the line. And we have seen this marked increase in autoimmune diseases in the last couple of decades.
Yeah.
And it is certainly suspicious that maybe there's some connection there. We don't know because the studies just haven't been done. People keep saying all these vaccines have been proven safe.
There haven't been long-term studies.
Exactly. The studies are just short-term, and they're mostly to determine the efficacy, the effectiveness of the vaccine, not to determine long-term side effect potential. And so we just simply don't know what the long-term side effect is. And so I believe he's going to have an announcement to make soon that we're going to cut back on some of these recommendations, and the one that is in the news today is the hepatitis B, and we were talking about that.
What is it?
Well, hepatitis B is one of several viruses that cause hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. Of the ones now that we call hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, it's the one that potentially can be the most serious. It can be fatal. It has a 10% fatality rate, and a much higher rate, 50% rate of significant lasting liver damage. So it...
How do you get it?
It is only transferred by body fluids. So the same way something like HIV would be transmitted through drug use, through intravenous drug use, through very close swapping of body fluids, if you know what I mean, and through blood transfusions that haven't been screened or properly checked out. And so children are not really at risk for this.
So why are they giving the vaccine?
There are childhood cases of hepatitis B, but they get it from the mother.
I was going to say, can they get it from the mother who's infected?
Yeah, sure. They get it because there is some mixing of blood during the birth process.
And if they're nursing,
children have a separate blood supply than the mothers, so if that was kept completely separate, the virus may not be as likely to transfer to the child. But yeah, there is some transfer risk to the child if the mother has hepatitis B. And the vaccine won't do much good for that because the child already has the virus, and the vaccine takes a while for it to even have much effect in boosting one's immunity. So
could the mother give it to the child after birth if she contracts it and gives it to, say, through
well, again, it
breastfeeding?
would take a body fluid transfer. It is not known to be transferred in the milk with nursing. So that's a lot
That's
less
unlikely.
likely.
Okay.
Very unlikely, yeah.
So it seems odd that we would make that a mandatory vaccine for children, for infants and newborn.
It does, and not that maybe it isn't a useful vaccine somewhere, but not on the day of birth, which is the typical day that it's given. I mean, these kids don't even have a developed immune system yet, and we're giving them vaccines on the first day they're born.
Right. Here's the thing, too. You know, you've got a product now that any manufacturer can make and has no legal responsibility for it after
That
they
pisses
make
the
it.
lawyers off.
Yeah, this is the lawyer's view on it.
That was very good.
And the thing of it is, it's a license to print money without any liability or responsibility for any downstream event. I mean, vaccines are unique in this respect, in that, since most healthcare plans, in fact, if you go into your average CVS and you buy a bag of potato chips, you want a vaccine with that?
Oh boy,
I mean, every time you go to that back counter, oh, you want a vaccine, and they've got a list of
vaccines that
your
they'll
arms,
get. Yeah, you're
and
right.
they're all
Yeah.
free.
Yes.
And come on, anyone that is being intellectually honest will acknowledge the fact, okay, these aren't free. They're being paid for, and they're being paid for by the government. This is the same government that pays $800 for toilet seats. So you know that the government's getting their rock bottom best out the door buy in bulk price.
I like it. You said you talked about toilet seats and you said rock bottom.
Yeah, well, that's why you need
How
a
about
comfortable
tender
toilet
bottom?
seat.
When you went, go ahead. I'm
No, I
sorry.
was just going to say, if you look at that, this is literally a license to print money, which is why everywhere we look, there's going to be there's a vaccine for everything from runny noses to athlete. I'm waiting for the athlete's foot vaccine. That should be next on the list, because how many people are suffering from athlete's foot? And it's a scourge upon mankind, of course. But hey, it's it's gone to be ridiculous. Now, for instance, as a child, you got all these vaccines, MMR, DPT, and so forth. But
Distemper,
after you get
rabies.
past the fourth grade, suddenly you're getting big enough to punch the doctor in the nose for sticking you with a needle, and they stop. Okay, and then it used to be you never thought about getting an update or a booster for a vaccine. It's just like you're blessed and you're good for the rest of your life. And that's how we, most, especially people of our age, grew up. That was it. You didn't get any more vaccines unless you, went off to a foreign land and had to get something exotic. Well, now, everything that you're being vaccinated against, well, we need a booster with that. I mean, and I understand, maybe they didn't have tests, or maybe no one developed tests to see if in your 30s you were still immune to measles. But it just seems odd to me that now vaccines are now, well, with that COVID shot, you're going to need a booster. Well, okay, how long? Oh, about 2 weeks. And it's like, what? Well, not much of a vaccine if it only lasts, till your next coffee break.
That's it.
And Doc, you're not, and I think you said this before, you're not against vaccinations.
I am
You're just
not.
against doing them all
I've
at
never
once at
been
the same time.
anti-vaccine. Vaccines have probably saved, it's estimated, 1 billion lives
Really?
over the last 100
Oh,
years.
wow.
Yeah,
There's no question
smallpox
about that.
alone used to kill 1 million people every
Yeah.
year in the world, and some years many more millions. We have vaccines against simple diseases like measles and mumps, but even though the death rate from those are 1 in 10,000, when you multiply that by the millions of people on the face of the earth,
Right.
there were tens of thousands of people that died from just chickenpox and measles back, before we had vaccines. Not most of them not in the U.S. Because we only make up a small segment of the population of the earth. But yeah, I mean, vaccines have saved an enormous, maybe more lives than everything else combined.
Right.
So there's a place for them.
But see, the thing of it is now, the minute you even say, hey, maybe we ought to take a, well, you're a denier, you're anti-vaxxers. No, and I've told people, I'm not anti-vax. I might be anti this vax or that vax, and for very specific reasons, but I don't want to throw the whole system into the dumper.
Do you know that some states require boys, school-age boys, to get the cervical
HPV.
cancer
That
vaccine?
doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah, the HPV,
jeez.
human papillomavirus
Right,
vaccine. Because they can harbor the virus, even though it almost never causes cancer in boys, and it is the cause of cancer of the cervix in girls,
Right.
in women. And
And there's states that are
and there are
mandating
states
that?
now that require it for young boys.
Wow.
Not many. I think it's only a handful.
Probably Minnesota is among that because they've gone bonkers. In that
Here's
state.
the thing, it's one of these, this slippery slope argument. Well, if a little is good, a whole lot should be even better.
Yeah.
And they ignore, or not ignore, they deny the possibility that you could be injured by these vaccines. And it's interesting, in 86 when they passed the law immunizing vaccines from lawsuit, they set up a whole system where, well, if you are injured by a vaccine, we have this government agency that you can apply to and be compensated for it.
reimbursed,
And it's almost impossible. I mean, the way it's set up, it's almost impossible to recover from it.
All right. I'm going to interrupt this intellectual conversation for an update on our pet tip of the day.
Today's pet tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little-known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. Do not feed cats milk. I know it's what we've grown up seeing in cartoons, storybooks, and on greeting cards, but it's not good for cats. Cow's milk will cause diarrhea or vomiting in many cats and kittens, and not all, but quite a few. You won't know if your cat is one of those until you give them some milk and see what happens. If your cats can drink cow's milk without having diarrhea or vomiting, it's fine then to give them a little as a treat, say no more than 2 or 3 tablespoons. As for feeding it to very young kittens, it's not good to replace much of their standard diet with cow's milk because it is not nutritionally complete. I would not give cow's milk to a kitten under the age of 4 months and then only a small amount. If you find yourself suddenly with orphaned kittens and can't get to the store, there are many recipes for kitten formula on the internet which begin with cow's milk but add other things to make them more nutritionally complete. If you are bottle feeding a kitten, you should really buy a kitten formula product like kitten milk replacement. It's what all rescue groups use and is easily found in many different stores in the pet section. As always, consult your veterinarian for his advice if you have any problems or concerns. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSVR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's Pet Tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
And thank you very much, Louis Linder. We were talking about Christmas in the Village at the Riverfront, and Tremont has their Christmas annual show this Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. in downtown Tremont, and entertainment is included, and it's available and free. And one of the singers is one of our favorites on our program, Kathy Reynolds. She is, that's correct, will be appearing at 5 o'clock, and this is one of the songs that she'll be singing, and it's titled, Jesus Puts the Jingle in My Holiday. Kathy Reynolds this morning.
The stockings are hung by the chimney with care. Bing Crosby and White Christmas are bringing some cheer. The presents are wrapped, tagged under the tree. Strands of colored lights are winking at me. Snuggled on the couch, cup of coffee in hand, nestled right up next to my favorite man. All wrapped up in comfort and joy. But there's so much more that really rings my hair than mistletoe and toys. Jesus puts the jingle in my holiday. Not a jolly man in a toy-filled sleigh. Saying it's all right as far as that goes. You know it's not a bunch of reindeer bringing me home. God's only Son, salvation come. He's the reason I celebrate. I celebrate. And Jesus puts the jingle in every jingle, a jingle all the way. Jesus put the jingle in my holiday. Though the sights and the sounds of the season are great, the halls of my heart glisten with grace. Heaven's holly hangs above my door. A million lights are strung, and he's the source. Every day is sugar plum sweet. Eternity with him, well, it's more than a dream. Makes me want to climb a mountain and tell the whole wide world what really rings my bell. Ha-la-la-la-la, hallelujah. Jesus puts a jingle in my holiday. Not a jolly man in a toy-filled sleigh. Saying it's all right as far as that goes. You know it's not a bunch of reindeer bringing me home. God's only Son, salvation come. He's the reason I celebrate. I celebrate. a very merry jingle, a jingle all the way. Jesus put the jingle in my holiday. Holiday.
Kathy Reynolds. Little reminder, we are having our 3rd annual Christmas Sing Saturday.
The station is? Where are we
our
caroling?
show
We're
at
caroling?
First Baptist Church in Deer Creek.
Oh, I thought they...
on Saturday, December 13th at 2 in the afternoon. We've been doing it on Sunday, and we thought, let's do it on a Saturday afternoon.
That'll be fun.
And we have a lot of fun. We will miss Mike Dentino because he usually has a Christmas reading, and we're gonna miss that. His salary demands was beyond my budget, and but Dr. Sidler will be there with a reading. You missed last year. I think you were you under the weather? Was that it? Or
I was at a Bradley game or something.
yeah, okay. But at any rate, the public's
And I'm
invited to attend.
going to miss my first one.
I know.
We've got grandparent stuff that day.
Yeah. Well, it is a busy time of the year, but Kathy will be singing. The pastor can play a mean piano. I mean, he's an outstanding pianist, by the way, but we're going to have a good time. And it's free. It's 2 o'clock, and everybody's invited to attend.
Nice.
Yeah, you bet. Other than that, any final thoughts about vaccines? I want to ask you quick. What time do we have?
We got a minute.
We don't. We just don't have the time.
Oh, shoot.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
We'll have to come in tomorrow, Mike.
You have to come back tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning, and tomorrow we'll try to do the same thing. Maybe try to do a little better job.
You'll do better tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to try my best.
Okay.
At any rate, and thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, remember, God loves you, and so do we. Have a great day, everybody.